Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second Real Talk episode of 2025, episode 123. Please join us for the next 2 to 3 hours as we yap about some incredibly fun stuff. As always, joined alongside my very sexy and very knowledgeable co-hosts, Mr. Tyler C. Whitmore, Mr. Cam Walsh 27, and Mr. Seth's Film Reviews. We do have a very packed episode for you today. We're going to be looking ahead to 2025, kind of talking about our most anticipated, talking about what we expect to be some box office absolute hits, maybe throw in some, expected box office bombs, maybe a pair of movie reviews today. We're going to be talking hard truths. Seth and Tyler will be talking hard truths, and then myself and Tyler will be talking The Last Showgirl. We will also do a very brief Golden Globes recap. Usually we do our full episode on the Oscars, and we'll just briefly discuss Golden Globe winners and SAG winners or SAG nominees and kind of talk about those implications on the Oscars. We are also going to follow up from a year ago of the ReelTok collection. I believe the last time that was updated was last February. So we do have some additions to be made today. We'll kind of do that quickly. And then a pretty decent chunk of movie news. I wasn't really paying attention, I guess, on Twitter this week, but I missed a lot of big stuff that kind of happened. So I'm excited to talk about these things. But yeah, let's get into it. As always, shout out to our executive producer, the Soul King, Mr. Stefan Johnson. And to any of our patrons, anyone listening, living in Southern California, our thoughts are with you. We are sending a ton of love to those affected by the wildfires. Our hearts are with all the families, all the first responders, and everyone impacted. There's unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do physically from our locations, but if you guys ever need to talk to anyone, our DMs are always open, and we are very active on all social media platforms. So feel free to reach out. Merch store is live again. I got my Film Bro shirt on. I did place a rather chunky order for myself, so I'm excited. I got a new Fun Drink Friday shirt, Cam. I got two, actually. I'm very excited.
It's a good design.
It is a good design. I really do like that one. I also like the quality of that T-shirt.
It's great, man. I've washed it too many times though, so I need a new Fun Drink Friday, and I need a new Tyler. I need you to put back play more Dua Lipa.
What do you mean put back? It was never up. Remember, they Insta copyright struck us every time we tried.
It's a copyright thing, but we can order us four. It's like a like a lost
the black market.
It's a ReelTok exclusive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I need a new play more Dua Lipa shirt.
Patrons, you guys have your code available to you for 20% off merch. So if you wanted to grab some ReelTok merch, consider joining the patron. It's there. All the links and descriptions are in our bio. Take a look at it. New year, new us. We're gonna have a massive year. Hopefully, have a good time. And next week is our third annual ReelTok Awards. It's gonna be a good one. I know. Yeah, I'm very excited. Tyler and Mateo have been absolutely grinding on graphics and all that fun stuff. We do clips. We are a real award show. We do clips. And remember, our award show open to voting to the public, to anyone, whether this is your first time listening to this podcast or your 123rd time listening to this podcast. You are allowed to vote. The Google Doc to vote for all of the categories is in our bio. We do or in the description below. We do a ton of fun categories. We include stunt ensemble. We include funniest film, best horror film. And then you got the hard hitters, obviously, best picture, best actor, best director, best actress. Worst picture as well, which is always an exciting one.
And just so everyone knows, Friday, January 17th. So this Friday is the last day to get your vote in. So this comes out obviously Monday the 13th. So you have like 4 days after hearing this to vote. So get your vote in before Friday.
Get your vote in. That's, we do it best. We do it best over here at the ReelTok Podcast. But let's get into it. Let's get our episode going. Cam, we'll start with you. How you doing? How's your week? What you been watching?
It's been a good week. Let's see. So first off, if I am talking with a lisp all day, I'm very sorry. I have bronchitis. Remember that meme that was like, I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got that for shit.
That was the first thing I thought of.
That sucks. Not a funny meme, but that's probably how I feel about like Hawk Tua in like a year. But so like I've bitten my tongue a couple times like weeks ago, and now that I have like a real sore throat and just like pain in my mouth, I feel like I notice it a lot more. So like I'm noticing my tongue, you know, like when you like talk, you don't notice your tongue. Right now I'm really noticing it. So I have like a lisp, and it just like I got a sore throat, painful tongue, like I'm on antibiotics. I'm just kind of dying right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so like if you've watched for the past month the episodes I've been on, like I haven't been able to breathe. That's because I had bronchitis and just never got it checked out. But then that developed into a sore throat, and I was stuffy, and I'm like, man, I just got to go to the fucking doctor.
What did they give you for that?
Actually, that's not true. I didn't say I have to go to the doctor. Emma said, get your ass off the couch and go to the damn doctor. They gave me like amoxicillin or something.
Okay.
Yeah, just nice antibiotic for the next week. Hopefully it goes away and hopefully start to feel better, which like already coughing less, which is great. But now I got a damn lisp. So sorry. Other than that, the week's been pretty good.
Noticed if you didn't say anything. So.
Yeah. So now maybe it's like on your mind. Emma's losing it. She's like, you gotta stop talking like that, man. But last night was probably the highlight of the week. So big I know a guy night. One of my coworkers' husbands is the head chef at like a super nice like chop house around here. And so like and she's said, you know, we can go. So maybe it's I know a girl. 2025. We're respectful these days. But so she's like said multiple times, just go in and say, you know, this guy, and he'll come out and say hi and bring you stuff. And so like this weekend, we asked our parents to watch Bailey and Sutton. Got a little free time date, which was awesome. And so we went to this steakhouse. He got us really nice reservations, and like, you know, in the Bear, you can see into the kitchen. Like you could see into the kitchen, and I'm watching it. I'm like, man, looks electric back there. Less, not much yelling. They looked like a well-oiled machine, much better than the Bear, but just kind of made me want to rewatch. But he brought us out a bunch of nice stuff, and I really like appreciate it because it was just a really cool experience. Like tried like beef tartare for the first time ever. No clue how it's safe, just raw steak. And I'm Googling it, and it's really like when I was Googling it, it was like you really just have to trust whoever you're getting it from, because like they have to make sure they're using the highest quality meat and the highest quality this and stuff, and just in theory it shouldn't have bacteria in it because it's super high quality. But it's like it was actually really good. And as you guys know, I'm a super picky eater, but it was actually super good. We had some scallops, some like bacon cube appetizer that they do. We had some like potato ball things that they have. Had what's it called? The little fish eggs.
Caviar.
Had caviar for the first time ever. Was gas actually.
Very salty.
Yeah, salty. And I never try new food, so it was like a really cool experience. And he was just like chefing it up back there, just kind of the man. So shout out that coworker and that and her husband. Not going to say names. They also don't watch this, so it doesn't really matter. But it was just a really, really cool experience, and really awesome to spend the night without kids. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. That's like the big highlight of the week. Watched a bunch. I feel like I'm doing well this year. I've been trying to keep up a little bit. I got like 30th in the ReelTok. Like we have a challenge every year of who can watch the most movies of the like Discord. I got like 30th.
Oh, did they send it?
Yeah, it was a while ago. They sent it. 2020.
Who was one? Was I
On
one?
the pod, I
No,
think
no,
George
there's
was
people
one.
in there, George, who like.
Really?
No, on the pod you were one. You beat Tyler by like 3 movies.
Yeah.
But like no, you lost by like 200 movies to like
Where do I find
200?
this? No, George, there's people in there. You did.
someone's at like 800 movies last year.
That's
Where do I find this, Cam?
It's
Which
I've been much more active in the Discord
I was
recently.
gonna say 2025 is a new leaf for Cam. If there's something in the Discord that me and Seth are both like, wait, that's
Yeah,
in there?
it's
Cam's
the
like, yeah, idiots.
ReelTok challenge. ReelTok challenge. So if you scroll, then you'll have to scroll for a while. 'Cause he said,
Probably a pinned message in that channel,
yeah,
Seth, if I had to guess.
but yeah, I watched Red One, the Pirates trilogy. I probably will continue the Pirates, but we'll get
Don't
there
do
eventually.
it.
No,
Yo,
if
can
you're
you-
gonna watch good, you got to watch bad.
Can you
No.
raise your At World's End rating?
I don't know.
True,
At World's
actually.
End is too long,
Dude,
and
it's
too
so
convoluted,
good.
and I
It's
don't
so
like Jack
good.
Sparrow's. I don't like Jack Sparrow's multiple.
You don't like the
Jack
trio?
Sparrows. I don't like the
Oh,
trio. Not funny.
man.
Not
I
funny.
love that movie.
I can't find this shit at all.
My like, and then we also in the Discord and with the Patreon we do like a film raffle. So someone gives you a movie every week, and you give someone a movie if you want to play. I got The Man from U.N.C.L.E. this time. Not a
I
bad
saw your
movie.
poster.
Not a bad film.
Saw your
No, that was
poster.
Despicable Me.
Oh no, that was but it
poster.
looked
Yeah.
like a guy. Was that not a Guy Ritchie film though? On it?
A Man from
No, Despicable Me's poster is just Jason Statham, Kevin Hart, Brendan Fraser,
Oh,
and
okay. I just saw
Danny
Jason Statham
DeVito
thought it was
for
like
some
a
reason.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny poster, so I put it up.
Yeah.
But The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is like fine, but it's just classic Guy Ritchie. Watch Den of Thieves, which is awesome, good film. And then I'm watching Do the Right Thing, and it's like really, 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 really good. It's fantastic.
You should end the call and go and finish that.
I know. I should.
Amazing
honestly.
film.
It's really great. That's about it. That's my week. Sorry to yap so long, but yeah, it's good. It's a good week.
I wish
fun.
you would yap longer, honestly.
Of course.
Tyler, what's going on, dude? How are you?
Doing well. It's been a good week overall. It felt like the week flew by, but also was very long because when we were talking about the rundown, George was like, "Oh, should we talk Golden Globes?" I'm like, "Holy shit, that was the
Yeah,
same
I
week."
forgot
thought
that
it
was
like-
last week.
Thought it was last year already at this point, but been a solid week. You know, feel like we're the scene in Titanic with the band all playing the violins. You know, as the TikTok ship is sinking. So who knows? It might be a week from tomorrow, or a week from today might be the last day TikTok is a thing in America. Who knows? I know they're saying something like they might, or that the way it will work is like they'll like have to take it from the app stores, so maybe it'll still function for a few months or so.
And, like,
just
updates.
then once the updates happen, it'll kind of go down. Because I know Flappy Bird you're able to keep without updates forever, but like that's a game. Whereas like a social media app, I feel like eventually is just gonna not work anymore without updates. And who knows if like they'll even pay like creator funds anymore, which would probably just kind of kill the app in itself, anyways. But who knows if it does get banned in America? I would guess Europe would probably be next. They're pretty censorship heavy. I mean, Seth knows better than me, so I feel like if America falls, it's going to be just one domino, and that's sad because I like TikTok.
I think it will probably follow suit in probably like I don't think it will be as of right now, but I think it'll be a few months. But I also believe that the thing is the functionality of TikTok is very reliant also off advertising, especially in the US. So I think it's only a matter of time if it goes in the US. Companies aren't going to use it to advertise and use people to advertise their products, so it will just end up kind of that de-escalation down. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Subscribe to George on YouTube. Subscribe to Tyler. Subscribe to Cam. Cam, you don't have YouTube. But subscribe to Cam on YouTube.
He does have a YouTube. He just doesn't post.
Cam, you're muted.
I realize that now. I posted a video once.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you?
you did post a video once, like over a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, probably a while ago.
But yeah, it'll be a bummer if TikTok goes, because obviously that's how we all met. We wouldn't have met. This podcast wouldn't exist without TikTok. It's it's easy to throw jabs, be like, oh yeah, waste too much time on TikTok, brain rot TikTok, gonna be good, it's gone. But it really will be a bummer. It's clearly the best social media app there's been in terms of an algorithm and Jay Stoobs like has just been crushing it with her videos about like the TikTok ban, because everything she's been saying, like I'm like, damn, like I was gonna make a video, but she's just saying everything perfectly that I want to say about how like TikTok actually has built communities. Like there's film talk, book talk, fitness talk. Like there's all these different like communities. Whereas like if you go on Instagram Reels, there's no community. Like you don't know who the hell is who. Like like it's crazy. Like people say the algorithm is some like black box thing. Like it's just like a buzzword, but it truly is. Like TikTok, their algorithm found a way to make it where every single niche has their own community. Where whether someone has 1 million followers or like 2,000 followers, no matter what level you're at, you probably know their names. You probably engage with them. You see that like TikTok has fostered communities and it's things is going to go away. So many small businesses are going to be crippled. Another thing she was talking about, she just laid it out so perfectly. Like the entertainment industry is going to be pummeled as well. Cause like book talk, huge for the book industry. Bookstores are probably going to be hit hard from this. Music, musicians, indie artists are going to be screwed here. We're going to go back to, you're only going to be hearing the top pop 100s. Movies, again, like people who are like us, or not even us, like anyone who's trying to curate movies aside from like the big top 10 blockbusters, like all those movies already struggle to make money. It's just going to even be harder. So there's a lot of negative things that can come from this. So hopefully it doesn't go away, but it's looking more and more like the case. But
I wasn't even thinking about music.
Yeah.
And the amount of artists I found on TikTok that have like less than like 50K plays on Spotify a month is insane. I wasn't even thinking about that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people built themselves from like nothing, not like being selfish and, you know, just including like us, for example, but like people who are like really successful in their selective industries, whether it be like music or film or whatever it might be, they've literally just built themselves through the app. And the thing is, people saying like, oh, they'll just move on to the next one, you know, like Vine did when Vine became like Musical.ly or whatever it was. It's really not that simple, especially with the resources and the funding that TikTok has. It's it's not selfishly, you know, we're like in a, like us four, we're in like a decent position where we don't rely on TikTok and stuff for our jobs, but there's a lot of there's a lot of people, including people we know, that do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a bummer. Like just seeing like Kit Laser's video where he's just like bluntly like, he's like, what happens to me if TikTok's banned? Putting the fries in the bag, to be completely honest with you. Like I'm going back to a full-time job. Like it's just a bummer. Like a lot of people's lives are gonna be fully impacted. And yeah, I feel like when Vine died and TikTok was kind of birthed, it was when I feel like there was a little more innovation within Silicon Valley and software companies, whereas now it's just so stagnant. And so like, there's not going to be another thing. It's going to be Instagram Reels, like the only other option. And that's why Meta is probably the #1 funder of this court case, because they're probably like chomping at the bit. And we already see it with Twitter. Like everyone hates Elon and wants to move off Twitter, but every alternative stinks and no one's moving. So like it's there's not going to be another thing. And if there is, it'll be a long while before it catches up. It was just TikTok was just such a perfect time and the moment and the zeitgeist, and COVID like obviously impacted it a ton to where it was blew up during COVID. So it's like it's tough, but hopefully it doesn't go away. Obviously thankful for it for many things. It's changed my life in many positive ways. So hopefully it doesn't go away. If it does, it's one of those things I've been like reflecting on these last few days. Like if TikTok does go away, I feel like I haven't really processed what that's going to feel like. Because obviously, like we met on TikTok, like we're all going to each other's weddings from TikTok. We have a podcast for 2 years from TikTok. Like, I feel like if it goes away, I'm going to need some like time to process and be like, damn, that was like a big impactful thing in our lives. It's just like,
how much do you use it though now? Like all of you, like genuine question. When you post a video, how much do you use it? Because I'll post a video and just go off. I don't actually use TikTok that much.
I don't look at my comments, but the last few nights, honestly, I have been scrolling it for like an hour just because I'm like, you know what? Ride it down with to the bottom of the sea right now. But I use it probably average amount. I know some people probably use it way more than me, but I don't. There was points in time, Seth, I was like you though, where I just didn't touch it at all. But oh well, we'll see what happens. But watched a ton of movies this week. I'll go quickly through them. Let's see, the 5th was the last time we talked. So don't know if I mentioned I watched 22 Jump Street, but I did.
Nice.
Fun movie. But yeah, it was a big week for movie watches because Riley was just doing like a bunch of stuff, like doing like these little crafts and stuff. So I was just like sitting in the room watching movies. So it just was a good week for movies. Then I watched Ad Astra, which I had seen before, probably way back when it came out, because it's been because I hadn't logged in a Letterboxd back in maybe 2019, 2020. But yeah, that's Hoyt Van Hoytema, right? But yeah, because it is one of the most gorgeous, it's like so modern beautiful, man, in forever. Just crazy movie, and it's just a crazy movie storyline too, because it's so introspective, meditative, almost like Malick-like with like the monologues Brad Pitt has and how it's just like a slow, quiet burn on like the father-son relationship and isolation and giving up your family for an objective and a mission. But at the same time, there's like crazy action sequences. There's lunar rover races that is like a Mad Max situation. There's monkeys attacking. There's power towers at the beginning of the movie, like crashing, and
Insane.
Brad Pitt has to parachute out. Like, it's such a quiet, meditative film while also having some of the most crazy action sequences in the world. So it's just a wild movie. That's definitely, you know, I know you've been preaching it forever. It's very underrated in terms of like no one really talks about it, especially like with all these other, you know, like Interstellar or something gets all the praise, but Ad Astra's right up there. It's great.
It's right there. Can you hear me out when I say Brad Pitt's best performance of 2019?
Yeah, it's so they're so different performances.
They're so different.
It's so difficult to like compare.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's great in both of them for
He's
sure.
incredible. He should have been a double nominee.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated that. I watched Molly's Game, which is just a fine movie. Very standard biopic. It's
Cam film he's been suggesting to us for like ages.
I think he likes it.
Cam loves it. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he gives it 4-star. I guess maybe not crazy love for him, which 4-star for him is like a 2.5. He calls something.
Yeah,
but
4 stars a mid movie.
I didn't even realize until the end, which I guess I was stupid. I didn't remember that this was an Aaron Sorkin movie, but it just made so much sense at the end because I'm like, damn, Aaron Sorkin, like having a court scene that he could just like snip in between scenes of a movie, just like Social Network, like that's like his cocaine right there. He's like, oh shit, man, imagine if I just like kept every other scene just flash back to the court case and then go back and then go. That'd be electric, right? It's like Aaron Sorkin. He's got his bread and butter. We can't hate. But yeah, very fine movie. Watch Upgrade. You know, Wolfman's coming out. I'm not that excited for it. People are. I really liked Invisible Man. I'm gonna rewatch it, but I watched Invisible Man right when that came out.
You should watch Invisible Man.
The one from like 1922.
35.
35. Yeah, I will be actually this week. It actually is on my watch list. So but I watch Upgrade, and a lot of people love that movie. It really underwhelmed me, honestly.
I love that movie.
Wait, is that Lee thing? I haven't seen Upgrade. Is that Lee
Winnell?
Yeah. Debut, I believe.
I think it was.
I mean, Invisible Man was like the COVID film, wasn't it? Like 2020.
Yeah, that was 2020.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh.
So the debut was Insidious Chapter 3, and then it was upgraded.
He made Insidious Chapter 3.
I did not know that.
I did not know that, and I also just don't like that film. That's all.
Yeah, it's Upgrade just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't. It looked like it was cool. The set of the sci-fi aesthetic. It was really like Terminator meets Venom. Like it gave me a lot of Venom vibes. It's just like someone in your head talking to you that's like taking over your body. But everything else I thought was just really okay. I was watching it with Riley, and she's like, "This feels like a student film." Like, what do you mean by that? Just I wanted to unpack that. Like, what is like, just so when somebody doesn't watch a ton of movies, like says like this is a student film. Like, what do you mean here? And she's like, it's just like totally gives vibes of just bunch of buddies getting together making a movie. Doesn't really feel that professional. I'm like, okay, interesting.
I said that once about Francis Ford Coppola's Twixt, and I got disgustingly demolished, bro. I got absolutely shredded for that. I said it looked amateur and like a student film, and I got destroyed.
I think Upgrade actually looks really good. So I wouldn't say it looks like a student film, but I can see with like the performances are very caricatures, silly. It's definitely a movie where like they set up a big kind of twist that you kind of know from like the first 5 minutes or whatever, and then just like a lot of silly stuff that's like you can have fun with it, like guns implanted into your hands. Like there's no functional reason for that. Like it's so stupid, cool. But it's cool. Fun.
Cool. Though that's the functional reason.
Yeah. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, I know. It was fine. I gave it 3-star. It's just I just know people love that movie, and I wasn't quite there. Rewatch Memento, awesome movie. Remember Sammy Jenkins. Also shout out Guy Pearce because he's great, and I haven't really seen enough of him. I've only seen really Memento.
Did never break from acting for ages. Feels like
he must have, because I really am not familiar with his game. Yeah. I guess he's in Prometheus. But I haven't seen like Prometheus and Covenant.
I mean, Prometheus was like 2012 though.
Yeah.
Didn't news just come out where he said basically like after he did Memento with Nolan, he was never cast in a lot of big budget movies because someone at Warner Brothers basically said this guy Pierce guy will never like be a talented actor.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
Well, yeah, it looks like
Iron
basically
Man
he was
3
kind of
villain.
he had a couple movies in the early 2000s, and he kind of had a break until like the 2010s, and then he had a break again until like 2020s.
He was
like
doing like streaming only action films with like a 1.9 rating. And by the way, I am looking at a 1.9 rating.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. He did that show you like, George, Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, Mayor of Easttown. Yeah, he was in Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
I do forget that.
But Memento, good stuff. Also watch Aaron Brockovich, Julia Roberts, also another just person I'm just like not familiar with their game because I feel like most stuff I've seen her in is just
Good
like
film.
rom-coms, but she's so good in Aaron Brockovich. She's I need to dive more into real movies with Julia Roberts. Rewatch The Accountant because I guess like The Accountant 2 is coming out this year, and I saw this on Max. So I was like, let's watch it, and just such a it so is a Batman movie. It's just it's a superhero movie where like the superpower is autism, and I just think that's like so awesome for Ben Affleck. It's just such a silly movie of like there's like literally scenes that mirror what you'd see in superhero movies where they're like suiting up with a power suit or something, but instead of suiting up with anything, it's him like balancing a checkbook, balancing a balance sheet or something. They're framing it like it's some epic hype montage, and I'm just like, hell yeah, this is awesome, man. But I put this in my review. So John Lithgow, John Bernthal, and J.K. Simmons are just like three all-time guys you just say hell yeah when they're in a movie, and you got all three of them in this. So it's just a hell yeah off every time someone jumps on the screen. But yeah, The Accountant 2 will be interesting to see how it goes. Just he even finds like a Robin in this too, just kind of electric. September 5, really didn't care for that, didn't like it whatsoever. We'll be interested to talk about it more when I don't know. The release has been weird because it's technically like a December release, but I don't really know when it's supposed to officially release or anything. Hard Truths, Seth and I will talk about Back to the Future, which will be our Patreon review on Friday. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah,
that's so shocking to me.
Yeah, maybe I'd seen it on TV at one point or something, but because I feel like I knew all the stuff that happens, but it's also just one of those iconic movies that it's like Star Wars. Even if you've never seen Star Wars, you probably know what happens in the first couple of Star Wars movies just because it's so within the popular cultural zeitgeist that it's kind of hard to not know. So maybe I saw some glimpses of it, but yeah, Back to the Future first watch. And then yesterday, The Brutalist, which was incredible, but we'll save thoughts on that for probably 2 weeks from now, mainly because, obviously next week is the ReelTok Awards, but I also think like the real release isn't for like 2 weeks anyways. Then rewatch La La Land, another banger, and then ended the night watching Steven Soderbergh's Presence, which is my first 2025 release of the year, even though it came out at Sundance last year, but not released in any theaters till this year. Neon is just they're a silly company. They gotta stop because Longlegs at least had scares. So when you call it the scariest movie of all time, and then people watch it and you're like, it didn't scare me that much, which I didn't scare me as much as like the scariest movie of all time, but I still was like, there's some gruesome elements, like Longlegs has scares in it. Presence is a movie that I like the movie, and I think it's a really great meditation on grief and trauma and how that impacts a family. But this movie is like I don't even know. It's if I had to give my scary scale, which is very heavily weighted towards being a coward, this is like a 0.0. Like there's nothing in here, and I'm so confused. Because their trailer, when I see it in theaters, I'm like, damn, this movie looks scary. And every quote is, this movie will terrify you. This movie will, scariest movie of the year. I'm like, Neon, you got to stop. Because regular people are going to go see this movie. This is going to be a movie that regular people are going to hate. Because it is
it could be the scariest film of the year for you, Tyler, right now. Probably is, actually.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they could be doing the pull quote for that, too. And be like, scariest movie of the year.
Scariest movie 2025.
Which is coming out next week, which is the same weekend of Wolfman. So even then, you're pushing it because Wolfman's coming out at the same time. It's probably going to be a scarier movie than this. But
does Wolfman come out next weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know. It's a good movie. Like I liked it a lot. Very experimental, Steven. So the whole movie is from a perspective of the spirit haunting the house. So it's very similar to like Zemeckis' Here, where you're playing a lot with form and space. But it's just silly to call this movie scary, man. It's more sad, and it's ways more similar to David Lowery's A Ghost Story than anything like a possession story.
I love hearing that.
It's just ridiculous that they're like, and so basically the fact that it's not really that scary, the fact that it's experimental with the camera following a presence the entire time, and then there's something that happens in the movie that I guarantee you normal audience are gonna be like, that is so stupid. I think this movie is going to be like, there's two outcomes. Either this movie's gonna be seen by no one and we'll have like a pretty solid rating, or like if people start to go see it, because I think the trailer is pretty effective. This regular audience is gonna hate this movie. So we'll be curious to see what you guys all think. But Neon, stop calling every movie that comes out the scariest movie of all time, because you're just setting yourself up for failure, man. But yeah, that's how my week was. I'm leaving to Boston tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Oh, are you seeing Mr. Owen Patnod?
No, because he's back from school at home or whatever. So I was trying to coordinate something. He's like, "Oh, I'm like 2 hours away from Boston right now." So rip. I would have though. I would have.
You know, you're only like a 4-hour train ride from New York City.
Yeah. Is there snow up there? Am I going to see some snow? I'm excited.
There's still a little bit of snow on the ground here, but now it's kind of all gone now.
Well, hopefully Boston's got something for me.
Yeah, I hope. Seth, how you doing?
All right. What we've done this week? I went to the dentist. That's kind of how exciting my week's been.
Oh, yeah.
Not exciting. You know what's funny, Tyler? I might be going to an event for that Celebrate Presents next week, on Monday, week tomorrow. And so I'm going to on the Sunday. I'm actually going to London with my mom to see La Haine, in one of the biggest screenings in London, with my cousin. So that'd be cool. It's one of her favorite films. And then we're basically staying at my cousin's. And then I was like, I got invited to one on Monday. And at first I thought it was a horror film, but then since then all I've seen is like the marketing towards it. And my mum loves horror. So I was like, oh, do you want to just like come to an event with me? You know, come to the screening with me and watch it. And she's like, yeah. So we might be going. So it'll be interesting to see her reaction actually. Because all I've heard from it is how it's been marketed completely incorrectly.
I want to hear you guys' thoughts, because it could be one of those things like Skinamarink, you know, where maybe I'm just not seeing the horror. Maybe other people are gonna be terrified. It is.
I don't think so, because the general consensus has been what you've just said. Like I've seen that multiple times now, which you know isn't surprising. Mm-hmm. What did I do? I won't be here in 2 weeks, which is kind of annoying. I'll be in Copenhagen, chilling in Denmark. Nice. With the father for his birthday. That'd be cool. So I will miss the Brutalist. It's annoying, man. I tweeted the other day. I was like, I need the Brutalist. Then I got invited to 2 screenings, right? It's like they saw it. I think they did. And then I can't go to either of them, which is great. And they were in BFL. They were in like the IMAX as well, the big IMAX in London, which is fucking annoying. So that's cool. But I'm hopefully gonna see it soon when I get the chance. That's kind of it this week. Not really done a whole bunch. Watched some UFC, watched some football, whatever standard stuff. What did I watch? I watched a few things. I watched Paul W.S. Anderson's Pompeii, which I really enjoyed. George, don't watch it; you'll hate it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Also, George, you're going through. Yeah, George, you're going. Actually, no. I'll ask you this when you're on your
Okay.
We're watching. Watch Spider-Man, Spider-Pig. Lovely. I watched Total Recall. Which is the Arnold one, the Verhoeven one. Really, really great stuff. Like really, really great. As far as like kind of futuristic dystopian sci-fi action goes, some of the best practical work I've probably ever seen. Really enjoyed that. I think you both would as well. Watched Emilia Perez, which was
why?
I don't know, man, because I was just kind of like I was working one day. And I was like, I might just stick it on. It was there. It's really bad. Again, not a revelation me saying that, but it's like
you didn't like the penis to vagina song.
That's not even the worst bit, though, is it? Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Genuinely, that's like if I were to rank the worst bits in this movie, that would not be like bottom 10. Believe it or not.
Yeah, it's so
which tells you how bad the movie is.
Yeah, like outside of how just regressive it is, like completely and just offensive, it's just really bad. Like it's so misguided in the way it tries to set you up with these musical numbers as well that are kind of so. I think it genuinely has like 0 good ones throughout.
It's so. I'll talk about it more, but I went to see the last Showgirl yesterday, and the Miley Cyrus song at the end came up for it, and I was like, damn, this very good song is gonna lose out to some dog shit song from Emilia Perez at the Oscars, and it's gonna really bother me.
Probably. It's because it's difficult as well, because it's like Zoe Saldana I actually really like, but I just don't want to see anyone win for this fucking piece of shit. I think
she's the only acting performance that will win. I don't think Selena Gomez wins.
No, but I just don't want to see anything win for it, just out of principle.
Yeah.
How much I hated it.
Dude,
that will go down as the worst film for me I have several Best Picture winners at a 1.5. I don't think I have any at a 1. So this will actually go down. It won't win Best Picture. I'm just saying. It'll be like one of the worst to ever be nominated, like by far.
Yeah.
I hate
And
it.
it's second on odds betters right now to win Best Picture.
Okay, so it might.
Also, real quick, George, Miley Cyrus can't lose out to because they didn't even include her in the short list for best.
Oh, did they?
That was my first line of my last Showgirl review. I'm like, crazy.
Oh,
They didn't even put her in the short list of like 25 songs, so you don't have to worry there.
Disgusting.
I went to see Baby Girl, Tyler. Today, liked it. The only part of it I didn't really like it wraps itself up in the end, the final lights. It plays with you so much, and kind of I think it produces like a real mounting tension of like this dominance and the control between the two. And I think Nicole Kidman and Harry Styles are like the perfect like people to play those roles. But it almost reaches danger point without like fully going over the edge. It's like a PG, you know what I mean? I think I was speaking to someone yesterday. It's like a PG Lars von Trier is how I described it. But I definitely liked it though. For, like much more, I didn't like it 3.5. I rewatched Phantom Thread, which might be the best film ever. Genuinely, I've
been wanting to rewatch this so bad lately.
It's just like it fucking destroyed me, like emotionally. I was laughing. So only my second time watching. I watched it the first time like only like a year ago. It's definitely my favorite PCA at this point. Bumped that up to a 5-star. Fucking, I loved it. Everything about it. It's just perfect. And then Back to the Future as well, which obviously we will discuss in our Patreon review, which was my first watch in probably 6-7 years. It has to be at this point.
Wow.
But yeah, that's kind of it for me this week. That's kind of it.
Nice. Yeah, nothing much from me. It was a week that was supposed to be busy and ended up not being busy. Wednesday, I was supposed to go see The Brutalist, but I ended up just staying in and not seeing it. I did end up seeing yesterday, but I was supposed to see it Wednesday. Thursday, I was supposed to go to a Netflix event for that new Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx movie. But they canceled it. Back in action, yeah. But they canceled it because of everything going on in California out of respect, which obviously is a good decision to make. Friday, a couple of friends that I used to go to school with and I used to work at the gym at my school with came into the city. We just got dinner, caught up. It's been a while since I've seen them. So it's always nice catching up with some older friends. But that's like it on like the week on like what I did, where it's like January is a big like grind time for work. So just been busy and annoyed with work. A lot of changes being made that I'm not necessarily happy with, but we ride. Movies wise, and I'll kind of fly through these so we can move on to talk about bigger and better stuff. Where did we end last week? I think we ended at 7. So I rewatched Dee Dee because Victoria wanted to watch it. It was her first time. Still loved it on rewatch. I really do think this is one of the better coming of age movies of this decade, maybe of even like the last 10 years or so. The Joan Chen, this was my Letterboxd review. The Joan Chen snubs will not be forgotten. She's so good, man. She is so good in this movie. It's unbelievable. Rewatched Alien Romulus. Listen, man, I still like this movie. I do. I was rewatching it. I was like, there are some really bad things in this movie, but I think its highs are just awesome. And I mean, you guys know me. I'm just a science fiction fiend, and I think this movie just looks beautiful. I love the space aesthetic. I love everything about like that final 25 minutes with I learned that big, tall, skinny dude, his name is the Offspring. So I loved everything with him. I really, really love Kaylee Spaney. I really, really love David Johnson in this movie. I think they're so good. So I think the positives outweigh the negatives in Romulus. So my score still leans positive. I still give it that 3.5. I watched The Faculty, which little Josh Hartnett action. I didn't watch this movie because of Josh Hartnett. I started watching this movie and then Josh Hartnett just appeared on my screen. So I was like, oh, that's a nice surprise. I didn't know, young Josh Hartnett was in this movie. But cute 90s, alien invasion kind of movie. It's just about a bunch of kids that learn that their teachers might be aliens. Some awesome practical effect work, some really funny bits. Gets a little serious at times, which like I wasn't really expecting. Like most of the movie was kind of like a, fun, corny 90s sci-fi. And then like when like shit starts to hit the fan, it like turns to a really serious tone for like a good like half hour. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like I got to lock in. But it was good. Josh Hartnett is great. Good looking guy for sure.
True.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Robert Rodriguez.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this until like after the movie. I didn't know who. I for some reason it had just been on my watch list for a while. And every so often when I can't figure out what I want to watch, I'll just like shuffle my watch list and like whatever comes up on top, I'll watch. And The Faculty came up, and I was like, oh, perfect. Quick hour, 40 minutes. It was a little late by the time I started. So yeah, pleasantly surprised.
Frodo's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, Frodo's in it.
I remember watching this.
Yeah, he's in it.
Wait, is that good? Hang on.
Who are you looking at?
Is that Usher in the poster?
Who?
Usher? As in the singer Usher?
I have no idea who that is, but
you don't know Usher.
You don't know Usher?
Usher. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Usher is in this movie. I'm sorry.
Usher.
I know. The way his accent was flowing did not sound like Usher. It sounded like OSHA.
Usher.
I'm still not hearing it.
I don't remember. I don't remember him being in the film.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, good. Cute movie. I'm not gonna say good, great. It's cute. It's cute, fun, little sci-fi watch. I watched the Avicii documentary. I'm Tim. I actually had I don't know if you guys remember. I went to the Roger Federer documentary at the Tribeca Film Festival. I don't know when that was at this point. That was a couple months ago. But I had gotten tickets for me and one of my other friends to go see the Avicii documentary the next night. I don't remember why, but we didn't end up going. But I finally watched it. It's on Netflix now. Even if you're like not into Avicii and not into EDM, I think it's a documentary worth watching. Because it's obviously very sad. He lost his life at 28 years old. But he was 28 and he kind of blew up. He changed the game forever. So it's a documentary that does a really good job at kind of like it acknowledges how tragic his story is, but it also kind of celebrates his artistry because he really is one of the best artists of our generation, I'll say, and certainly obviously one of the biggest and most impactful EDM artists ever. That's all I've been listening to is Avicii since I watched this documentary. I really just cried my way through this, and I'm not even like a big EDM Avicii fan, but this documentary just really was so beautiful and brilliant. So if you can spare an hour and a half, and you're a fan of music, I definitely think this is worth the watch. I watched Bridesmaids for the first time, I think.
Funny film.
Yeah, really funny film. I say I think it's because like I don't know, it just feels like a movie I probably have seen and I'm just not remembering. But even as I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't really remember any of these bits. I don't remember any of this at all. But yeah, really funny movie. Hilarious to find out that Melissa McCarthy was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in this movie at the Oscars. Yeah, and the movie was also nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
I knew that. I did know that, but I didn't know she was nominated for.
Yeah, really funny. If you go,
hot take. She's an insufferable actress in this movie. She's not. So kind of deserved.
She's an insufferable actress, and in this film, she is as well.
I don't think she's. Maybe I just haven't seen enough Melissa McCarthy.
I've always found her like really unfunny.
I think she's fun. She was easily the funniest in this movie, without a doubt.
No, I think
it's a whole lot of insufferable people not being insufferable.
I like Maya Rudolph.
Yeah, I mean, the whole cast is great. I think this movie really does come together with like all of like the defining 21st century female comics. And kind of giving us like the best movie they possibly can with this entire Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, Rose Byrne. Yeah, there's just like a whole handful.
Like a female Rebel Wilson makes an appearance.
Yeah, I mean, appearance. She's a big role. Yeah, she's there.
I just meant like she's in it. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, so it was funny. It was funny as fuck. Like genuinely, every time Melissa McCarthy was on screen, I laughed. She really was funny. Best supporting actress nomination, funny. I don't know. I'd have to go back to that year and see what the competition looked like, but yeah, good movie. And then Seth, I'm pretty sure you alluded to this earlier, but I am running through the Resident Evil stuff. So
my question is, why are you
yeah,
not starting from the beginning?
I did. So I watched Resident Evil 1 a couple months ago. And by a couple months ago, I mean December of 2023.
Couple months.
Yeah, so I watched it. I really did like the first one. It was awesome. That's the Paul W.S. Anderson one.
Did he do 2 or maybe
no,
3?
he didn't. He did 1, 4, 5, 6. So 2 and 3.
Weird.
Yeah, it's so 1, and I'm remembering correctly because I've watched like bits and pieces of this movie.
I've seen 1.
Yeah, 1 is really good. It's like it's so fun practically. It's such a mess, but like in the best way possible. Like the movie looks awesome. There are some really fucking sick like fight scenes with these zombies. There's some really like there's cool lore behind it that actually makes you like intrigued in this world. And then 2 and 3 just fucking suck. Like they're so boring. They're so stupid. And like you could argue the first one is stupid. I don't think any of these movies are like relatively smart, but like 2 and 3 are just like stupid on account of like they're trying too hard to like make this like a serious film. Like it almost feels like they wanted 2 and 3 to like play out as like cautionary tales, like oh, this can happen and we're telling you how to prepare for it. And it just doesn't unfold the way I would like it to. And also like it looks less cool. Like the action sequences are very boring. You got a feel for Mila Jovovich or whatever his name is, because it feels like these movies are really trying to get her to be like the next great final girl. And she's great. She's really good in these movies, and she's easily the best part of them. Like she carries all 3 of them on her back. But 2 and 3 just don't do enough to like put her in the rafters with like a Jamie Lee Curtis or someone else or like a Sidney Prescott.
Maybe the other ones will help you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
my friends.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying, get through 2 and 3 and get back to the Paul W.S. Anderson movies, and that's what I did. So I'm back to the Paul W.S. Anderson movies. I don't know when I'll watch 4. Maybe I'll watch tonight. Honestly, if I'm not watching like the football games, which I probably won't be, or actually it's Australian Open time, so all I'm watching is tennis. I will say Resident Evil Extinction, which is the third one. Okay. It kind of answers, the age-old question: what if Mad Max Fury Road had zombies? And for that,
well, I'm watching it then. Cool.
Yeah, for that, I was like, okay, this is okay, cool. Like there are moments that are fucking cool, but there are really, really bad moments. 2 stars was the highest I can go for that one, even though I don't think it's any better or worse than number 2.
Interesting fact for you, George. I think it's the Retribution, because I did a video like years ago, right? Which is the 5th one. I think Resident Evil Retribution has, if I'm correct in saying, or it might
is that the next? Which number is that? You got to give me numbers. I don't know the names.
So that's 2012, so I'm assuming it's 5 or 6. Yeah. It's one of those 2, 5 or 6, right? That has the most, I'm pretty sure, the most jump scares of any film ever. Just FYI, by the way, because I remember doing a video on that. Okay. And I was so surprised. I was like, what? Resident Evil? And as the most jump scares of any film ever. I might watch them because I've been meaning to, but I don't want to watch 2 and 3.
I think you'll really enjoy 1 for sure.
I've watched 1, but like it's been
2 and 3. Like the problem with 2 and 3 is like there are, especially in 3, especially with Extinction, there are very cool bits, like genuinely, like Extinction had like 1 or 2 shots where I like genuinely like nodded, like, oh, okay, that's really cool. But they're just so drowned in so much utter nonsense, and you're gonna see a very clear like gap between 1 and then 2 and 3. Like you could very clearly tell this is not a Paul W.S. Anderson film. Like it loses all of his stylistic ability. It loses everything. Sorry if you hear all those sirens in the background. It loses everything that like made the first one cool. So yeah, I don't know. I'd be very curious, honestly, to see what you think of 3. 2, I don't expect anything, honestly, from you. I don't think you'll like it. 3, I could see you giving like a 2.5 or a 3-star and kind of like respecting like here and there. I just struggled through it. But I am back. Yeah. Afterlife is my next film.
Maybe you're a Paul Thomas. Maybe you're a Paul W. Sanderson guy. You should watch Pompeii.
Yeah, I mean, I like Event Horizon.
Horizon's
I don't really love Alien versus Predator. Death Race, I like. I just watched that not too long ago. Like 2-3 weeks ago.
That's him as well, isn't it? Yeah, the one we spoke about.
Yeah, the Statham. Yeah, I really like that one. That one I have like fond memories of watching as like a kid with like my dad just on TV. Like that was a fun movie. So yeah, I mean, I don't dislike him. Everything I've watched. I've liked the Event Horizon. I've liked Resident Evil. I've liked Death Race. I'm keen to watch his Mortal Kombat movie from '95. I've heard very mixed things. So
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I literally just saw your 2-star review. Actually,
he's got a new film coming out. That one that we just got a trailer for with
the In the Lost Lands. Yeah, with Batista and the same girl, Mila Jovovich.
Oh yeah.
I'm butchering that name, by the way, but yeah, the same girl.
Mila
Jovovich.
It is Mila Jovovich.
Jovovich. There's 2 V's.
It'll be a J because he's Ukrainian. Yeah, Jovovich.
Yeah. You know what?
If you're listening, Miller,
I'm just gonna call her Alice. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna call her name from Resident Evil movies, Alice.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm running through Resident Evil. Let me wrap up my what am I watching so we can move on. We've been yapping for almost an hour. The Brutalist I watched yesterday, which we'll talk about. I think maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know, Seth, when you're watching it, but whenever you're watching it, we'll talk about it. And then The Last Showgirl, Victoria and I went, and Tyler and I will talk about that in a little bit. I did like The Last Showgirl, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. But let's move on. Like I said, we got a lot kind of to run through. Also, I didn't mention this in our intro, but we're going to be doing our monthly Q&A towards the end of this episode, so that'll also be a fun little bit at the end. But let's talk Golden Globes very quickly and kind of talk about what those mean. For the Oscars.
I just started at the bottom of the Golden Globe site, and I feel like we can just scroll our way all the way to the top.
Yeah, we can go quickly.
No one cares about this, right?
No one gives a fuck about
stand-up
comedy. Yeah, Nikki Glaser actually did have a great performance, but yeah, I don't know how Ali Wong won that. Male actor in a supporting role in television went to
I haven't seen a single one of these.
Tadanobu Asano, who gave the best speech ever. The dude was just happy to be there. And Shogun is great.
Shogun, oh, you have seen Shogun?
I have seen Shogun. Shogun is really, really good. Like, genuinely, it was in my top 5 of the year. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV shows, so hold that with a grain of salt. But yeah, Shogun's fucking fantastic. Colin Farrell, let's go. Yeah, that got like a fist pump out of me and like a come on when that was announced. I was really happy about that.
Hell yeah! I didn't know Ewan McGregor was nominated. Shout out to
what? I didn't know either.
Ewan.
I didn't even know he was in anything.
Gentleman in Moscow.
The Gentleman in Moscow.
I've never read of it. Nice.
But yeah, fucking shout out my boy Colin Farrell. Awesome.
Shout out Jessica Gunning.
Yeah, best performance by a female actor in a supporting role on TV went to Jessica Gunning for Baby Reindeer. I never watched Baby Reindeer. I think
she's really great. She's really great.
Yeah, I think the
She's
three
really
of you
good.
guys did.
Show's fine.
You're silly.
This was it. Yeah, female lead actress in a limited series anthology. Would have loved to see Kristen win.
Did you watch the new True Detective, George?
I didn't. I watched one episode, and I'm so far removed from True Detective.
It's got horrible reviews. But
yeah,
everyone says Jodie Foster is great. But
it's Jodie Foster.
It's Jodie Foster. She's one of our greats. But yeah, I mean, outside of season 1, I think they failed this show. I think the Mahershala Ali season 3, was like totally fine. But I struggle to care for anything other than like season 1, really. Jeremy Allen White continues his insane run with the Bear and just collecting every award known to man.
He's really good, but who does he? I mean, when you're going up against two only murders in the building,
that show is for NPCs, dude.
Dude, I kind
real
of feel
show,
bad
man.
for them. They've been nominated for like the last 5 years, and they've just kept losing out to Jeremy Allen. Like at one point,
this show's not real.
I know, but at one point, you just got to give it to them. Like they go to every award show. They're just so like I don't know. I mean,
It's so much better for them to lose than fucking.
I know.
It's good publicity though.
God damn it, I can't think of anything. Bob Odenkirk.
They
got like, but Better Call Saul got like 53 Emmy nominations. I think
they got dunked on.
Also, I watched like parts of Nobody Wants This. Adam Brody, very okay.
What's Nobody Wants?
Hey, his house burnt down this week, so let's be nice to him, please.
Oh shit! I'm very sorry to hear that, Adam Brody. That's awful.
That's okay.
He should have gave him a bone Golden Globes because Jeremy Allen White's got like he's got too many bookcases filled. It's full.
Yeah, keep it. Jeremy is so good.
Nobody Wants This is like the Netflix show that got super popular. Emma watched it. He plays a pastor, a rabbi. Plays a rabbi. That's the word I'm looking for.
Interesting. Jean Smart for Hacks took home lead actress in a musical or comedy. I'm very surprised Io Debris didn't win this.
Working to Brunson. I feel like Abbott Elementary usually sweeps up awards too.
They swept up
Only Murders. There's got to be 5 comedy shows that come out every year. This is not real.
This is it. It's The Bear, Only Murders, and Abbott Elementary. Agatha all along. I didn't even notice that was nominated.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, they're not so good funny. At that show. I don't know if she should be winning awards, but she's good.
Yeah,
I love Catherine Hahn though.
Hiroyuki Sanada won lead actor in a drama series for Shogun. I'm so happy with this win. He's so good in this show. The show is so good. I'm gonna keep saying it every time we pass one of these awards. The show is so good.
Presumed Innocence good. Never
what?
Presumed Innocence good, but never finished it.
Never watched it.
Slow Horse is apparently really good. I've heard really good things about that.
People love Landman. The people in Middle America love Landman.
I don't know what Landman.
I get Land. It's a part of the
Yellowstone universe.
Oh, okay.
I get Landman recommended to me twice a week at work. Man,
Billy Bob Thornton's cool.
Love it.
Like him.
They're like, "Oh, you like movies? Have you ever seen Landman?" Billy Bob Thornton's great.
Best performance by a female actor in a television series drama went to Anna Sawai for Shogun. Let's go. She's awesome. Obviously, I loved Emma Darcy in House of the Dragon, but Anna Sawai is really just on another level. She's so fucking good.
How many TV fucking...
Dude, there's so many TVs. Baby Reindeer won limited series.
And TV.
Yay. Don't care. Hacks won musical comedy.
What is Hacks?
Dude, I don't know.
They're just making these fucking...
They're making this shit up, dude. I don't know.
The Gentleman, that's crazy. That's getting nominated. That show came out and heard 0 people talk about it.
I heard 0 about any of these fucking things off the bat.
Theo James.
That's who it is. Theo James. Yeah. I was gonna say that guy looks familiar.
It's a spinoff of the Guy Ritchie movie.
Shogun won Best Television Series Drama. That's sick.
Is that Squid Game season 1?
No, I think season 2. It's just 2. Everyone was like, "Why are they nominating something no one's seen yet?" Literally 0 people have seen yet.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I was gonna say Squid Game season 1 was like 4 years ago.
Skip.
Yeah, Wicked took home
what
the
is this award?
This award
it
makes no sense because Wicked Wicked was not a top 5 box office of
was
the
it Inside
year.
Out 2 or like even
or
Deadpool Wolverine?
It should have been Inside Out
record.
2. Yeah, it should have been Deadpool
I
Wolverine
think
or Inside Out.
I think they throw 10. They throw slop at 10 movies, and whatever the slop amount the most is.
Yeah, whatever the slot.
They put out 10 troughs and have a pig run towards
have a pig eat it, and the pig is just like me with a large nose. It's just whatever I eat the most of.
Oh dear, this is
best original song went to El Mal. Oh my god!
After they played that song was in Riley's head the rest of the night. So
good lord,
might be a banger
dude.
song.
That shit is so trash. God,
should have been Miley.
Should have been Miley.
Atticus Ross.
Well, let's not be silly. Best original score we could skip on not important next.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Oh yeah, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, very spirited award win.
All right, question for you, Tyler: is it better than the Brutalist score?
I think so. I think it's more technically impressive because I think the Brutalist score, which surprised me, which I mentioned in my review, is that from the trailer, I would expect it to be a lot more of a score heavy film, but it's really just kind of you just kind of get taste of the score in there. It's really not like I was expecting based on the trailer to be like Oppenheimer, where that score is blaring. But
no,
it's
that was one of my
there.
biggest takeaways from my watch of the Brutalist last night was that score didn't hit as hard as I remember it.
It's an awesome score. It's just not
an awesome score. Yeah, it's just not utilized as heavy as it should be. All right, where are we at? Best screenplay went to Conclave.
Shout out someone who watches us. That's his uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get him on the pod. But I thought this was going to be the beginning of the Conclave sweep when this happened.
Yeah, so did I. But then obviously we know what's about to happen. I think Conclave does win this award at the Academy Award unless the Brutalist comes in. But I don't know. Oh no, different categories. My bad.
What won best film?
Good movie.
That's such an interesting lineup. It's also, I hate that they don't separate adapted and original. I really don't like that. But anyways, Brady Corbet wins Best Director. I think he's locked for the Oscar. I really do. I don't even think it's a competition right now.
There are cinephiles in Middle America.
Yeah.
A24
and in the UK.
Here, please.
And here, please. Thank you.
Release your fucking movie.
You have money. You have enough money to make chocolate.
You are not a small indie distribution anymore. Like, can we just
release your damn movie?
Movies need to start being cooler about that because, like, Brady Corbet from Scottsdale, so released in Arizona. The Brutalist about Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Like, put it in Pennsylvania. Like, I don't get why they don't cater it more towards like the director and like the setting of the movie.
There is no movie within 250 miles of me playing it, and the only reason it is because I'm 250 miles away from Chicago. So play it here, damn it.
Best actor in a supporting role went to Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. I also think he is a lock. I was like hoping maybe Guy Pearce could win this so he could become a legitimate Oscar contender, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I wish it was Guy Pearce too, but yeah, Kieran Culkin's like the.
I really like Kieran Culkin. I don't think he should have won. Like I think Denzel for me was better out of the ones I've seen, but I really like Kieran. Out of interest, did any of you guys watch that? I didn't watch many of the actors, but I did come across the Coleman Domingo Kieran Culkin one the other day. Really Those two are like two of the most likable fellas. Like Kieran Culkin is a likable guy.
Can I give my take that I texted in the group chat earlier this week? I'm not sure if y'all saw. Kieran Culkin is just Ryan Reynolds in good movies. He has the same exact interview mannerisms of, I didn't care, and then I just kind of showed up, and then I was here, and now I'm doing this movie. And they're like, "How do you prepare for a role?" And he's like, "I don't know, I just do it, and I'm just guy who doesn't care. That's me, Kieran Culkin. He's the same exact guy as Ryan Reynolds. He's just picking better roles."
I can't listen to Kieran Culkin speak for more than like 5
minutes. I was gonna say his mannerisms give me way more Jesse Eisenberg than Ryan Reynolds.
I like Kieran Culkin, but I also like Ryan Reynolds. I have no issue.
Yeah, I have nothing against Kieran Culkin. I just cannot tolerate the way he speaks and like his very quick, sarcastic way of storytelling.
I like
on his Actors on Actors or something, or maybe not Actors on Actors. Maybe it was the Roundtable. What's his name? Was talking about how like we as storytellers have the respontory to do this. Kieran Culkin was like, "We're not fucking storytellers. We just kind of do a role." Like
it was funny.
He's just Ryan Reynolds. He's the same person.
I can see it. I actually don't hate that take.
No,
he's just picking better roles.
Zoe Saldana won for Emilia Perez for Best Supporting Actress.
Shit film.
She's shit film. She's gonna win the Oscar.
Zoe Saldana should win everything. From everything I've seen on this movie, she shouldn't win anything.
Yeah, everyone tweeting, Emilia Perez, I'll be pissed off when it wins any award. It's winning supporting actress, and it'll likely win a lot of other stuff. I still think Ariana Grande is my pick. Joan Chen is a very, very close too, but I don't know. I really still like what Ariana did in Wicked, and I hope I hope there's a surprise. I hope maybe SAG comes around and Ariana takes it, and then Critics' Choice comes around and Ariana takes it, and she becomes the Oscar frontrunner. I don't know.
I thought we already had the SAG. Is that not?
No, we just got nominations. Just nominations.
Oh, okay.
Well, I keep wanting to like bring up The Brutalist, but we'll talk about it when we actually talk about the movie. Best supporting by a lead actor in a musical or comedy went to Sebastian Stan for A Different Man. I love it. I love, seeing that Marvel to Golden Globe, character arc. It's awesome. My pick here would obviously been Glenn Powell for Hitman. I haven't even seen A Different Man, but of the ones I've seen, it would have been Glenn Powell. I don't think Sebastian I don't think any of these 6 guys get nominated for the Oscar. Unfortunately.
You don't think Sebastian
Stan does?
I don't.
He's the only one that has a chance.
He's the only one that has a chance. But I'm assuming next one is drama. Oh, we just passed it. Sorry. Go back to drama for male.
No, we haven't gotten.
No, that's
that was supporting.
That was sporting. My bad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep going. Okay, this is where shit hit the fan. Everyone, and we're going to combine the 2 actress categories because everyone thought Mikey Madison was a lock for musical comedy, and everyone thought Angelina Jolie was a lock for drama, and they were far and away the odds betting favorites to win those awards. And then Demi Moore came in and wins for The Substance in musical comedy, which I love. That's awesome. But then what was her name? Won for drama. But in musical comedy, like Mikey not winning put my jaw on the floor, like genuinely. Like she was literally dressed like a Golden Globe or like an Oscar, and people were tweeting about it like, wow, dressing like an Oscar to win your first Golden Globe is such a flex. And I'm like, yeah, that is a flex. And then she lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a lock odds-wise to win the Oscar. Now it's like 50-50. To me, I think Demi Moore's a lock for the Oscar.
I think she wins the Oscar. Yeah,
which is so surprising to me given the film.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a typical. Yeah,
I love Demi Moore. I think Demi Moore's
People
great.
are not
I think
happy at the ReelTok Awards for snubbing it.
I voted Substance on him.
I don't like the movie, and I'll stand by that. I do not like The Substance at all. I think Demi is fine.
Also, you don't think Demi was good in it though?
Yeah, I think she's good.
I thought Margaret Qualley was great too. She was snubbed also.
I think, but it surprised me to see someone win.
Margaret was nominated.
Not in the ReelTok Awards.
Oh, sorry. I thought
we're talking real award shows now.
Yeah, we're talking real award shows. That's my fault.
Demi gave a great speech. I think and Mikey's too young. It's just
yeah.
Bet with just look at people's ages. That's all you have to do when you're guessing on who's winning an Oscar.
I agree.
Mikey Madison's too damn young. Which is the same thing about the number 2 Oscar nominee because he's the clear number 2 odds favorite right now.
Yeah, I saw. I wasn't even thinking about this, and I wasn't thinking about this, but I saw someone tweet about it like 2 or 3 days ago. So this is going to be Timothée Chalamet's last chance to win an Oscar and break the record for youngest actor to win lead actor. And
no actors younger than him's ever won. Because he's not young. He's like 28.
He's 29. He's 20. And the current person that holds the record is Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Oh, for the
these are the small Oscar facts I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's funny that like to break
he's
the
not
record.
Young. You know what I mean? Like that's
29. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of wild to me.
Yeah. So it's funny that like to break the record, he's got to beat the guy that he's not going to break the record because he will likely lose to the guy that has the record. Yeah. So that's a funny little Oscar tidbit fact for you. Yeah, I think Adrian Brody's a lock. I even after watching The Substance last night, Jesus Christ, even after watching The Brutalist yesterday for a second time, I was like, yeah, he's winning the Oscar. I don't even think it's remotely a competition anymore. Fernando Torres for I'm Still Here takes home.
I need to watch that, man.
Yeah, I do need to watch this. Again, this was just stunning. Like everyone just locked in Angelina Jolie for that Oscar. I think Angelina and people are still questioning if Fernando Torres is even going to get an Oscar nomination, which is crazy to me.
Has anyone ever won a Golden Globe and not even received a nomination at the Oscars? Like genuinely,
a fun trivia fact. I don't know.
Yeah,
but maybe.
I'm sure. Yeah, maybe. I'm sure. Well, I'm sure it's because like it might happen this year with Sebastian Stan.
No, I think he will though. Like
I'm sure it's happened very few times, but yeah, it's a fun trivia bit. Someone comment below, do the research.
I'm trying to search it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
But yeah,
Good job, Tyler.
It's crazy. So Angelina Jolie was bumped down to like the third odds betting favorite behind Mikey and Demi for lead actress now at the Oscars. Fernanda Torres coming in hot, which also I didn't know. Fernanda Torres holds the record for like youngest Best Actress winner at Cannes at some film festival. I forgot what film festival it was.
What,
but yeah,
the youngest?
I don't. Yeah, she won. She won Best Actress at like 19 years old.
Okay. Doesn't matter. I thought you meant now. How about?
No, not now.
I was like,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah. She'd be the first Brazilian.
Yeah, for Love Me Forever or Never in 1986. She won Best Lead Actress at the Cannes Film Festival, and she was 19 years old.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. So yeah, this shakes it up. I will say I wish I had seen the last Showgirl prior to ReelTok nominations, because I do think Pamela would have been in my top 5. I don't know if that would have been enough to put her in our nominations, but I think she would be, because I was like looking at like my top 5, like 1, 2, and 3 are very locked. It's still Lily Rose, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Angelina Jolie, but then like 4 through 10 are very interchangeable. And I think Pamela would have been somewhere in that category for me, and so very happy. We're not talking SAG nominations on this episode, but I'm very happy that she got that SAG nomination.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson won for supporting actor in motion picture Nocturnal Animals in 2017 at the Golden Globes. Wasn't nominated for an Oscar, so there we go.
Oh,
I also have a list here. So
Nicole Kidman.
These are best directors. So never mind. There's best directors as well that have won.
Nicole Kidman for To Die For in '95 also won and wasn't nominated. So I think it's happened, but it's like
quite rare.
Yeah.
Just can skip right over this. Amelia Perez won best.
Amelia Perez.
Dude, it's so crazy.
Shout out Flo, man.
I gotta watch this movie, man. I gotta watch. I was so like, I thought The Wild Robot was like the easiest lock here, like genuinely. Like I thought it was like a Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio situation where like no other movie even stood a chance. They're obviously
Guillermo del Toro took Pinocchio to Golden Globes. Do you know who else on this list took their characters to the Golden Globes, George?
Wallace and Gromit.
Nick Pop took Wallace and Gromit. So
but yeah, I gotta watch this movie about this cat, man.
Did you see them shout out Paul Giamatti and do the classic like I think it was In and Out burger?
No, I didn't.
The In and Out burger tradition.
Yeah,
winning a Golden Globe and going.
Amelia Perez won musical or comedy. At this
point,
is
one that felt like such a lock that was going to happen, but I was still so shocked when they actually I knew it was going to happen, but I was still like, man, I can't believe.
I fell asleep before this point, and I woke up and I was like, oh, let me just check, and I was like, oh.
I think everyone going into the show thought that like it would be a Nora, because everyone was like, okay, Mikey's going to win for lead actress in a musical or comedy. Sean Baker is probably like number 2 to Brady Corbet for the best director race. So everyone was like, oh, it's probably a Nora. And then Amelia Perez just started to clean up, and it was like, oh shit! Like,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. I need to talk to like voters. I need to know what they're seeing. Like, what are they watching that we're not
talk to your favorite fucking filmmaker, George, spreading the propaganda. I'm sick of Denis.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
You got to chat to him, George. You got to tell him.
I'll ping him. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Wait, Denis is French though, right? I think it's
he's French Canadian.
Yeah,
and
then The Brutalist wins motion picture drama. Again, I really do think The Brutalist is just I can't even say it's a lock right now because Amelia Perez is like not that far behind. I think The Brutalist
Conclave's still hanging around there too.
I think Conclave's still hanging around because I think Conclave is going to win Best Adapted Screenplay, and Amelia Perez or The Brutalist will win Best Original Screenplay. So yeah, Conclave is still hanging around. It's still there. I do think Brutalist and Amelia Perez are the 2 favorites. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we come into the Oscars and there's a shakeup. Maybe a Nora cleans up. Maybe The Brutalist is this year's like Fury Road or Dune, where it wins all of the categories, but then loses out on like director and picture.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Interesting. It is worth noting Golden Globes has like the least, if not zero, overlap with Oscar voting. Whereas like, so basically SAG, DGA, WGA, those awards are like the ones that more matter for like where they're probably thinking. So
Yeah.
things could shake up a lot still. But of like the three front runners, Brutalist, Conclave, and Amelia Perez, I definitely prefer the Brutalist, even though it's like at number 10 for me on the year. So I'm not like, it's not like top movie for me, but like of like the three clear front runners, like it's just a much more fitting, because Conclave's good, but Brutalist just feels more like a best picture than like Conclave, and then Amelia Perez, obviously. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oscar nominations come out a week from today, so next Sunday. They delayed it.
Yeah, they've been delayed. So that's
might be
also
delayed again.
Yeah, so Oscar nominations and the Critics' Choice Awards, those were both postponed because of the LA wildfires. I didn't see a date, so I have no idea. But whatever the original date was, that is not the case anymore.
I think it was it today? I think the Oscar noms were meant to be, and then it got postponed a week.
Honestly, it's supposed to be like Monday, I think, and then now it's next Sunday.
Know. But all right, let's move on. We got two movie reviews, Hard Truths and The Last Showgirl. I think you guys will spend more time on Hard Truths than Tyler and I will spend on The Last Showgirl. So let's start with Hard Truths. So that is Seth and Tyler. So I'll give you guys the floor.
All right. I got the synopsis up. So Hard Truths, directed by Mike Lee. Pansy's a woman tormented by anger and depression, hypersensitive to the slightest possible offense, and ever ready to fly off the handle. She criticizes her husband and their adult son so relentlessly that neither bothers to argue with her. She picks fights with strangers and sales clerks and enumerates the world's countless flaws to anyone who will listen, especially her cheerful sister Chantel, who, despite their clashing temperaments, might be the only person still capable of sympathizing with her. Marianne Jean-Baptiste in the lead role, obviously been very much talked about for her performance in this. I finally saw it because it's finally releasing here in movie theaters in America. You saw it at the film festival. So yeah, I'll let you start with it, because I know you've been pumping the Hard Truths train for a while now, since it was just such a film that none of us were able to see except you. And Marianne Jean-Baptiste, I know you're a big fan. So
yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen it again, but I don't think it's fucking annoying. Even though it's a British-made film, like, you know, I wish it would have. I don't think it comes out here until the end of the month, which is quite annoying. I haven't seen it since October 14th, so I'm a little bit, you know, it's been 3 months since I watched it, so I'm a little bit out of whack. But this is Hard Truth is a funny film where we had a question on one of our recent Q&As, like maybe not recent, a while ago, where it was like 4.5 you think about the most, if you remember. This is one of my 4s I think about the most, and I actually think that this will go up when I watch it again, because I want to go and take my mom to 6, and she'll love it, actually. Mike Lee is a director, you know, a famed British director that is kind of like his thing is showcasing, you know, the working class and kind of seamlessly fitting into UK traditions, UK people, and kind of showing day to day and like slice of life films as kind of, you know, his bit, so to speak. I think that the Hard Truths for me caught me off guard in a way that I thought I was going to like it, because I funny enough, I'm not actually seeing as many Mike Lees as I probably should have, considering, you know, I am English. I've seen 5 of his films. Hard Truths for me is, or you know, is as funny as it is sad and emotionally tormenting. I think Marianne Jean-Baptiste is, like, for me, the best performance of the year, in a way that she kind of seamlessly shifts from one bit to bit. Like, I think she's, you know, I watched this in a packed screening hall, and everyone was just in bits and moments. Like, she is hilarious. Like, she has such a comedic wit and force that is kind of unrivaled by many people working today, especially in a role similar to this. But the way she kind of uses these forceful outbursts is kind of, you know, it's the classic thing of she is in such torment and grief, and she's, you know, lashing out on other people, which is something, you know, we know people, and we know people are very, very it's something many people have issues with, is dealing with that on the inside and not being able to really showcase you know, your true thoughts of those around you. And it's kind of a film where you're watching her as a character, like, just do her everyday things and her everyday conventions, and, you know, living with her partner and her son, who kind of get on her nerves because they don't really, you know, they're not really putting much effort in around the house. She's struggling so much, but no one's really speaking to her because they're kind of scared that she won't almost come out to them emotionally. She has this sister who is also dealing with it, but in a separate way, where, you know, she lives in a flat with her 2 daughters, and they're kind of almost on the jollier end and trying to see the best of things. Marion is completely in the opposite side, very pessimistic in life, kind of giving up on it, and they're both dealing with a close stuff to them, just in different ways. I also think Michelle Austin, who plays her sister, is equally probably as brilliant as well. Like, she is fantastic. And I think that it really, really captures the sentiments of them as well. Something I really liked, actually, I don't know if you saw this, Tyler, was well, obviously I can't speak on this, but I think it was who was it now? Barry Jenkins was speaking to Mike Lee at a recent Q&A, and he was saying that it's such a black-made film in that the way Mike Lee kind of went out of his way to capture the real essences of the relationships between them, especially in those neighborhoods in London. The ability, the effort Mike Lee kind of goes through to capture that, and that's coming from Barry Jenkins, who's like one of the lead voices, one of the lead black filmmakers who's done so well. And I think that's such an amazing thing. And these people as well, like Marion Jean-Baptiste, and the people he casts aren't, famed actors, but they all kind of play such a role that is so viscerally upsetting at points. There were moments that kind of brought me to tears, especially like a particular moment in like the graveyard where kind of she has her initial outburst where she's kind of reflecting on it and really showcasing herself. And then there are just other moments, like for example when she's in the shop, I think she was like looking at sofas or something, if I remember correctly, and she just starts having to go at the worker there, and it's like hilarious. Or when she's sat downstairs eating food with like her son at a partner, and she just like has these random outbursts and just goes on these kind of tangents. It's hilarious, but it's so human in a way that it feels so tangible, in the way that people react differently to grief and torment, and kind of just understanding that the way of just a life, the way you're doing the same thing every day, can really be a hardship for so many people. I really, really liked it. I give it 4 stars. I actually think, if I was even thinking about it now, I probably should go, because I really, really loved it. And I think when I go and see it at the end of this month, I think it comes out, I'll probably like it even more. But yeah, Michelle Austin and Marion Jean-Baptiste are like two of the best performances of the year, absolutely. Yeah, amazing. Really, really good.
Yeah, we don't need to break this up into like spoilers, non-spoilers, because it's really not like a movie there's anything to spoil. It's really just a slice of life film into this dysfunctional family going through their own grief and relationships and how strained they are. So not really like a big thing I would like spoil the movie, but Marion Jean-Baptiste I thought was as great as people build her up to be. Obviously going into this, I've heard the hype for months now of just people saying like, oh, one of the best performances of the year, maybe the best performance of the year, best performance. So there was a very high bar to meet, and I think she met it. And it was very similar to me to the experience I had with Lily Rose Depp, even though I think this is a far more layered and nuanced performance, and I'm not as high as on Lily Rose Depp as other people. But in terms of how I approached her performance, because this movie starts with, the majority of the runtime is very comedic performances from Marion Jean-Baptiste, where it's outbursts in shopping centers and very loud and boisterous, with some quiet emotion, but most of the emotional gut punch happens towards the final third of the film, which is similar to me with Lily Rose Depp. I'm like, yeah, this is good, but I feel like she's kind of just screaming and being possessed. And like the final part of Nosferatu, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is getting to a point where there's more layers to this. Whereas Marion Jean-Baptiste, I thought was great the whole film. I think she is one of the best performers, if not the best performance of the year. I'm on the same boat there, but she was hilarious for the first, 2/3, and then the final third is like a major gut punch. But Mike Lee just sets this up perfectly to the point where Marion Jean-Baptiste really is someone who, like, by the time you get like an hour into the movie, you're like annoyed with her as the viewer, because you're like, dude, just you're taking out all of your anger and frustration on people who do not deserve it. Like these, and she's just trying to get by every day, and she just takes out all of her frustrations on people who are just trying to get by every day. Someone trying to sell furniture, or someone checking out people at the grocery store, and just having these over the top outbursts on these other people. Just unable to cope with her own grief and trauma. Not unable to cope, really. She just doesn't even address it. She doesn't even attempt to cope. She just keeps it completely buried and packed down, which completely impacts every single relationship she has with her family and with every just person she interacts with in her daily life. But it leads to a lot of funny outbursts that just builds up to the point where you're like, okay, you need some serious help, lady. So then you get the graveyard scene where things really start to break apart. But I think this is just such a fascinating look into this family and these dynamics, these people, because you have, again, Marion Jean-Baptiste, who refuses to address her trauma. Her sister, is getting by a lot better because she's clearly more open to the grieving process, going to the funeral, the gravestone of their mother who's passed, and talking about it openly and having an open communicative relationship with her kids, as opposed to, Jean-Baptiste, who's completely opposite there, just refuses to address her grief. So seeing the difference of how that impacts them is a sight to see. Then you have the father, or Marianne Jean-Baptiste's husband, who clearly they're like together more out of circumstance, like things were convenient when they were together. So they got married, and here they are, decades later, and just haven't really split up, even though it probably never was a marriage that should have happened. But he's just like a complete guy who realizes that he is pretty helpless on his own. Like he needs other people to be supporting him, because he's just been coddled more or less his life, where, he gets the house cleaned for him, the food cooked for him. And you kind of really realize that towards the end when he gets his back injury, just how helpless he is without the help of others. But the performance, even of Marianne Jean-Baptiste, is great. I think the performance that stuck with me the most is Twain Barrett as Moses, who I think is so great at a performance where you have to do so little on the surface, where it's like you're not going to say much, but man, just his eyes, he just looks so empty inside, where you could like he was a guy who wanted to be anywhere but his house, and probably wanted any other parents except his parents, because he was just so unnurtured and kind of just tossed around. And you could just tell by his mannerism, like a kid who was just neglected most of his life, and the fact that maybe not like an abusive house growing up, but more just like he was kind of just left to do his own thing, probably just doing nothing. Whereas I think there was a moment where, was it Jean-Baptiste? There's someone who mentioned, I think it was either Jean-Baptiste or the dad. I think it was Jean-Baptiste. It was like, I was very smart, was supposed to do all this, but I never got like support from my parents. So I didn't end up going to like university or wherever to tackle.
I think it was Marianne Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah. She like had basically a lot of talent she showed and like promise as a kid, but her parents didn't nurture it. And then it's just sad because you see she's bitter about that, but you see her doing the same thing to her son, who's clearly very interested in aviation and loving that as a passion, but clearly his parents are not giving him anything to move on to. And he goes on these walks to escape his family and just meets random people and, gets bullied, but also like, I love the scene where he's just sitting at the fountain at the end and just meets that girl who offers him like a stick of candy, and they just start talking. Just such a quiet performance from him that it really impacted me, because I just get empathize so much with someone like that, who's just, he's, and I'm not saying it was like my life or anything, but it's just like, I can feel so strongly for like the quiet kid who has so much going on in his mind, but just from the outside looking in, you just think he's weird, he's off kilter, he's quiet, he's unmotivated, but really it's just the circumstances are brutal. And but yeah, it's a great movie. Gut punch at the end. The graveyard scene was a major gut punch. Great performances all around. But yeah, there's really just great stuff all around. This is my first Mike Leigh. I want to explore more stuff from him, but this was really strong. And again, like, I know this happens every year with releases, but it just, to me, and maybe it's just we're getting more every year that goes by of being part of the film community, we're getting more steeped in awards talk and more steeped in just more movies and film festivals, some seeing stuff we might not normally see. But to me, it seems like this year egregiously more so than others. It's like there's a lot of movies right now that I feel like their release strategies are just screwing potential like award winners. Like obviously not just Marianne Jean-Baptiste, but we're seeing that from plenty of other films that are just, the release strategies are bonkers this year. So wish this got more love, but yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. I think it's really, really great.
Same. Like I said, I think I'll like it more on rewatching it, even more than I already do. Still my pick for best actress of the year. Not that she'll get one, but definitely check out some more Mike Leigh, because I think I've only seen 5, so I'm not maybe the best point of view. But
do you have a recommendation for the next one?
I mean, his most notable work is Naked, which is with David Thewlis, who I think is one of the best actors ever to come out of the UK. Obviously, most notably Lupin, my guy. And that's a very I would be mentally prepared before you go into that, because it's fucking bleak. It's one of the most bleak films I've ever seen. But it's also kind of full of this humorous, dark wit. It's almost like, if you were to take a Taxi Driver, you could almost compare it to that in terms of personalities of the main staple character, like the British Taxi Driver in a sense, but different. So I'd really recommend that one, because it's just his most notable. I mean, the one we should mention as well, because I need to watch this also. It's actually one of my mum's favorite films. Secrets and Lies was Mike Leigh's original collaboration with both Marianne Jean-Baptiste and Michelle Austin, who are both in it. And that's, I think, his highest rated film on Letterboxd as well. So I don't need to check that out. Secrets and Lies. But yeah, really, really good film. Definitely going to watch it again.
Awesome. Well, I will get George back here and we'll do the last Showgirl, and then we'll get into the 2025 look ahead. So, George, if you hear me, come on, sir. We got to talk Pamela Anderson and Miley Cyrus.
I mean, I have to wait until he's there.
Don't
want to leave you.
He's back.
Sorry, I'm here.
No, you're good. All right. I got the synopsis here. So, the last Showgirl, when the glittering Las Vegas review when the glittering Las Vegas review that she has headlined for decades announces it will soon close, a glamorous showgirl must reconcile with the decisions she's made and the community she has built as she plans her next act. Directed by Gia Coppola, starring very star-studded cast. You got Pamela Anderson, Jamie Lee Curtis, Dave Bautista, Brenda Song, Kiernan Shipka, Billy Lord, Jason Schwartzman. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we'll start with the cast. Kind of crazy cast. I was telling Victoria as we left the theater yesterday, I didn't know anyone was in this movie except Pamela Anderson. Like, I had no idea. So Jamie Lee Curtis showed up, and I was like, oh, cool. Dave Bautista showed up. I was like, wait, hold the fuck on. Then, like, Brenda Song, Kiernan Shipka, and then obviously down the line, Jason Schwartzman comes in, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, what kind of fucking cast is this? So really, really good cast, and they're all really performing at such a high level here. I only learned I didn't really take the time to like really look at the SAG nominations. But Jamie Lee Curtis was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, which is kind of cool. I did like her in this movie. I think she's funny. I think everyone in this movie is just kind of going through it in their own way, and I think they're all kind of doing their best to kind of like show like different levels of grief. Like Pamela Anderson, Shelley, she's kind of grieving with like, you know, her age and her relationship with her daughter. Kiernan Shipka's character is kind of like trying to figure out her relationship with her own mother. Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of, you know, she's living out of a van. She's very poor. She has no idea what she's doing in life. You know, Dave Bautista, you kind of find out down the line that he has a relationship with Shelley. So he's got that. Everyone in this movie is just struggling. And I think they all are acting their asses off. And I think that truly is a big reason why I left this theater experience leaning more positive, just because I think everyone is stunning. I'm really, really happy that Pamela Anderson squeezed her way into the SAG nominations. I really hope this means she can, you know, maybe find her way into the Oscar nominations. I don't know if she will. I think it'll kind of depend on honestly, I don't even know it would depend on. I really don't, because I don't see her winning SAG. But maybe she can come out of left field. But I'm really happy she made it there. I think she's really, really good. The movie itself, I was very, very pleasantly surprised with. It hit me emotionally in ways I didn't expect. Like I just kind of sat watching this movie in like just as still as possible. Like every beat was so emotionally charged. Every beat, like I either had a pit in my stomach, I was either like slightly tearing up, I was either giggling. There was just so much going on that I just absolutely adored. I didn't know this was a Gia Coppola movie. I haven't seen any of her other work. I think the only other feature film she has is the one with Andrew Garfield, Mainstream, but I could be wrong. But I'm unfamiliar with her. So I really liked what I saw. There are some beautiful wide shots of Las Vegas that I really liked. There are some really intimate and really personal conversations between Shelley and her daughter. You know, Shelley and Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Shelley and Dave Bautista's character. There are just some really awesome and beautiful conversations that just felt really real. And you could tell this is coming from like a relatively real place. You know, it's no secret that, you know, Pamela Anderson is kind of like living through this in real life. Like she's at, I don't want to say the tail end of her career, but, you know, she's not this like 20-year-old dime piece that, you know, everyone goo and gaga over back in the day. Like she's trying to readjust and readapt to like the new standards of her career and her appearance, which, by the way, she still looks so good, like unbelievably good. Like every so often in this movie, I was like, damn, that is a good looking woman. So yeah, it feels like it came from just a very personal place, and it feels like Pamela Anderson really just threw everything into this performance, and you could tell she really did just put every single ounce of emotion and impact into this role, and I think it works for the best. The performances are what carry this film from top to bottom, and that's not saying that the rest of the film isn't on that level. I think this movie really is written really beautifully. It looks gorgeous. It's so small scale. It's so intimate. But it carries a lot of weight that really did affect me. I liked very much her relationship with her daughter. Her daughter kind of came in, and initially I was like, oh, we're going to throw in a daughter side plot, and it maybe not going to work as well. But what unfolded really helped. They had a really emotional conversation after her daughter went to see her show, which that one left a pit in my stomach. And like prior to that, they had some really beautiful like reconnecting moments. So it was very all over the place relationship. And I think the two of them are just really, really good opposite each other and just kind of playing off of one another in that very, chaotic and absent relationship between a mother and a daughter. The daughter's calling her mom by her first name. And that kind of gives you an indication right there on like what kind of relationship they have. But yeah, I like it. I landed on a 3.5. I think this could have been a 4. Honestly, I think it even could have been a 4.5. The ending was just very abrupt for me. I knew going into this movie that the movie was only like an hour and 25 minutes. I knew it wasn't that long of a movie. But I could have used like another half hour. I feel like the movie just kind of like ended. Like it didn't feel like there was a lot of resolution. And maybe that's the point. Maybe there's not supposed to be resolution. Maybe there is no happy ending. Maybe Shelley goes on, I hate to say this, but maybe she goes on to live like a depressed life. Like she loses her job. She doesn't know what to do anymore. Maybe she loses her relationship with her daughter. So maybe it is supposed to be an ambiguous ending. You can look at it maybe from a positive lens or a negative lens. And if that's the case, then maybe the ending does work, but I couldn't help but feel a little empty when the credits started rolling. Like another 15, another 20 minutes, just I think would have done this movie so much justice. Just like really like just wrap it up just a little bit tighter. But yeah, I really like this. I did not expect to come out of this enjoying this as much as I had. Pamela Anderson, phenomenal. Kiernan Shipka is really turning out to be just one of my favorite working actresses today. She doesn't even have that big of a role in this movie, but every time she's on screen, she's so great. She has a scene where she's breaking down in tears, and like I just had such a pit in my stomach. She has a scene where she's just kind of being a little bitchy, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's get it. So she's becoming one of my favorite working actresses. I love seeing Brenda Song here and there. Just every time she pops up in a movie, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like she knows what she's doing. And then Jamie Lee Curtis, even her character, like she kind of plays like more of like it's like a weird, like optimistic, depressed role where she's like in such a shitty situation, but she's also like, yeah, it's good. Like, it's going to work out. I'll figure something out. I'm in my van right now. I'm showering at the casino, blah, blah, blah. But you just kind of feel for her. She's talking about like maybe starting a 401k, and she's probably like 60 years old in this movie. And it's like, like that's just like, I really like, I forgot what movie we reviewed. I think it was when we talked about the Florida Project for one of our real patrons. And what I like, I hate seeing struggling families. Like it really just, it just put such a pit in my stomach. And I think this movie just does a really good job at kind of giving me that like very like nauseous feeling, like damn, like this happens, like this really happens to people, and it doesn't feel good to watch. It doesn't feel good to kind of feel their emotions. So yeah, I had a really good time with this movie. I'd be keen to rewatch it, at home in a more like personal setting, and see if my rating could go up.
Yeah, I think basically everything you said, you put beautifully, and I don't really have a whole lot to add from there. So I think Pamela Anderson is really great. And, this film's really just a reflection on life, her career, relationships, trying to grapple with the past, hold on to the present a bit, and kind of terrified for the future of what's going to happen. This basically, she's the tail end of an era of the Showgirl in Vegas, and what's replacing it is these shows that are more acrobatic, filled with magic, comedy, way more variety than just like a typical showgirl type of performance. And it's just stuff that she tries to adapt, but she's just not really cut out for it. So it's just sad seeing someone have to grapple with that. And yeah, the whole ensemble is a whole lot of fun. Dave Bautista, I think, just continues to be so great in dramatic roles. He is so tender in this, and he's just so brilliant in everything in this movie. Like I really, really do think he's just so special, man. And I really love him in this. Yeah. The gut punch scene with Kieran Shipka coming over, because obviously we find out Pamela Anderson isn't a great mother. Well, she maybe not a great mother is the wrong word, but has clearly a strained relationship with her daughter. Clearly it seems like and you kind of learn this from conversations, she prioritized her career over her daughter, basically left her daughter home with babysitters or home alone for a lot of those nights while she was working as a showgirl. And then clearly you find out like the daughter sees kind of what her mom was doing as a showgirl, and it's like, holy shit, this is like the lowest of low class thing I could have ever expected. Like, this is awful. I never want to talk to you again type of stuff. So that's just got to be terrible for Pamela Anderson to have to go through. To not only do you strain your whole relationship with your daughter because of your career, but your daughter doesn't respect your career in the slightest. But then you have Kieran Shipka come over, who's like clearly going through it, and is like, can I please just come in and talk to you? And Pamela Anderson basically just gives her the cold shoulder, like, nope, not right now. So clearly the mother figure aspect of her life is just completely strained. And that was just such a sad scene to watch, as Kieran Shipka clearly needed someone. And, you know, you kind of hear that all the time. It's like, if someone's coming to you and like needs help, you gotta extend that hand and, you know, hear them out, or if someone needs to talk, like give them an ear, but clearly give them the cold shoulder there. But good movie. Gave it a 4-star. I think Pamela Anderson is awesome. I think everyone in this cast is awesome. Dave Bautista is probably my favorite here. Just a very fascinating film, just looking at, you know, using such a small aspect of just like a showgirl whose career is coming to an end to kind of use that to communicate on just changing times and how you have to adapt to those changing times, and how some people can, some people can't. Some people have the luxury to be able to and have the right stuff to be able to, and other people don't have that luxury, privilege to be able to just adapt so quickly. You know, we think about AI nowadays and STEM fields, and just so much of the workforce is changing. And, you know, it's always been changing, you know, moving from like locomotives to driving and now aviation. And then now it's today with AI taking it. Like, it's just, even though it's a movie about a showgirl, it just kind of speaks a lot to just the worker's experience and the person's experience of growing up in an era, the era completely changing from what you're used to, and then trying to figure out, like, am I going to get left in the dust, or can I adapt here? Yeah, liked it. A 4-star for me. I think it was close to like a 3.5, but gave it a 4, just bumped up because I really liked some of the performances here. And again, Miley Cyrus snub, not even making the Oscars shortlist for Best Original Song. It's a crime.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That whole final sequence, or even like the last, like, I guess it would be a third of this movie. This movie's so short. But the whole final sequence where like she goes to the audition, and then you know, they play like the final showgirl show. It's like it goes from like so devastating to like so happy, or not even happy. It's like she does the audition, and she's clearly realizing like this just isn't her industry anymore. And it's just like that was like, that's the most, like, if she's nominated for an Oscar, that's her clip kind of scene. And I love like pointing to those in movies and being like, that's the Oscar clip. Like, that's going to be like the amazing scene. Cause she really is just so fucking just heartbreaking in that final sequence. But then you kind of cut to like the last showgirl's performance. And I'm pretty sure she's like dreaming, right? Like, her daughter wasn't really there. Her daughter wasn't really sitting next to Dave Bautista's character. So it was kind of like a very like sad, but like optimistic ending, I guess, where she's like, this is what I could have had, you know, had the last showgirls maybe been more successful, had I not prioritized my work over, you know, raising my daughter. So it is a very like ambiguous and like very devastating ending, which I really liked. I walked out of this movie, and like, even when the movie ended, like my theater was kind of like silent. And like, that's just when, you know, like this was something impactful. But even like on top of that, this movie only comes in at like, I think like an hour. I think the exact time is like an hour and 29 minutes. This is where I'm like, now I'm excited to like continue watching Gia Coppola's movies, because there are so many like just long scenes of like Pamela just walking through Vegas. There's an entire scene of like Jamie Lee Curtis dancing in the casino while Pamela walks through Vegas. And if you cut all those scenes out, this movie could have easily been like maybe like an hour long. But those were some of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. There was one scene in particular where Pamela's like, I guess, on the roof of wherever she works, and Kiernan Shipka comes out and they kind of talk about like life and like, did you ever want to get married and blah blah blah. And then there's like a really wide, beautiful shot. It's the banner of my Letterboxd for that movie, of Pamela just kind of like looking out, and it's like, I don't know why that hit me. It's just like, it's so like, this is a woman who just feels like she had it all. Like she feels like she's on top of the world, but everything is just crumbling around her. Her relationship with her daughter, her relationship with the Showgirls, her relationship with Dave Bautista's character, everything just feels like it's crumbling around her. But she's like, she makes it very clear in this movie, like, they photographed me on top of the Great Wall of China. There's a fucking statue in the middle of Vegas of her. Like, she truly feels like she just had it all, and now she's struggling to, whatever. She's probably struggling to pay car payments and stuff like that. And like, she just feels like someone who just was the literal queen that just had it all ripped away from her in like such a quick moment. And Pamela Anderson she's really good. She really is. I have not stopped thinking about this performance in a really, really long time. I hope this SAG nomination kind of gets her into the Oscar nom. I would love to see her there. But yeah, this really was a good movie. Really was just something I did not expect to walk out of. Not something I expected to walk out of and be like, damn, I watched The Last Showgirl and The Brutalist today, and The Last Showgirl, I think, was the best movie of the day.
Wow.
They're both 3.5s, and I like them both a good chunk. But I really have not stopped thinking about The Last Showgirl since I watched the movie. And again, a big reason for that is just how good everyone in this cast is. Like, it goes beyond, like, I'll continue my praise for Pamela. She is so fucking good. But like, even like Kiernan Shipka, like, she doesn't have that many like lines. She's not in the movie a chunk, but like when she's on screen, like, you just feel her presence. Like, her delivery of the line, "I'm scared." I was like, damn, bro, like, open that fucking door, let her in. Like, I was like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, it sucked. And I mean, the movie didn't suck. Like, it just sucks what it made me feel. And even like at the end of the movie, when Pam like runs off the audition stage and Brenda Song follows her, I was like, damn, like, Brenda Song's putting in work too. Like, she's really like everyone in this movie was so good. Like, Dave Bautista didn't have like a massive, like, exaggerated animated role that you would expect from Dave Bautista, but he was just so calm. He was so reserved. That dinner table scene was just so like, it started off so strong, it started off like, and then like he drops the bomb, like, "Oh, my daughter, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, oh, shit's about to hit the fan. And then, yeah, he unfolded like so just like calmly. And it was just, he's so good. But yeah, I really like this movie. Certainly in my top 20 of the year, I would say, of 2024. I think on rewatch, I could even like bump this up to a 4 stars. Honestly, now that I kind of know how the movie ends, maybe that'll change my like thought process as I watch the movie. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. Great movie. Yeah.
Well, we'll add the fellas back in.
Yeah. Two quick reviews today.
Well, I texted in the group chat. We're going to push Q&A to next week. We'll do a separate real quick next week. So we'll have multiple real quicks coming out next week. But now it's time for the big draft. So
yeah, let's do
someone get Cam on the line.
Cameron. Hold on, I gotta like pull up a list.
Or we'll make it 2 years in a row where we draft for him.
We'll throw fucking Mufasa in there. My problem is I made a most anticipated movies list because I made that TikTok video. But I deleted it after there it is. Okay.
I'm looking at a bunch of films.
Yeah, I mean, there's a boatload of movies that we got.
Can we draft films without a like release date yet?
If you know it's coming out this year,
they have to be confirmed. I'm not like, no one's drafting.
True.
Like,
so Malik is off the board.
Yeah, Malik's off the board. Spielberg's UFO movie's off the board.
Well, that's already
but that was 2026 anyway, wasn't it? Was it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
PTA, like, obviously that was already moved.
What about something that's releasing in Cannes this year, guaranteed?
I don't know. That probably works.
Okay.
How do we know? How do we know the cam lineup though?
Seth, man, you can never do a draft without a million questions.
I've seen that they've released it in Cannes. They released it in Cannes.
All right, let's rock. Most anticipated movies of 2025.
And what you think you're gonna rate it.
And what we think we're gonna rate it. Cam, first pick on the board. Take it, baby. Take it.
It's my most anticipated movie of the year. It's not Captain America. Superman. Yeah.
Super goat.
Superman.
Super goat.
I think.
What's your rating?
I don't want to go too high. I don't want to go too low. You know. I think I'm gonna give it a 4. Is a good prediction.
I
like
think
a
that's
4.5.
rating.
I feel like is a scary place to put it, but and 5 is just maybe a little too extreme. But I think
I would say 4 too. 4 would be mine. I'm going to take my most anticipated movie of the year, which is Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17. Every time I see that trailer in IMAX, I smile, I cry, I get so excited. I'm not going to give it the 5. I think I'm going to put my prediction at a 4.5.
Okay.
Table my expectations a bit, but I'm so excited for this shit, man. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. Seth.
Tricky. I don't know what mine is. I'll just take this one because I know I'll take 28 Years Later.
Good one.
I think it looks like
even
really
after
great.
the Cillian Murphy news.
Even after the Cillian Murphy
It's
news.
still a Danny Boyle and Alex Garland.
And the trailer,
movie,
man. That is one of the best trailers we've
Dude,
had. For years.
That trailer played in IMAX yesterday, and I immediately turned and I said, "That's one of the scariest trailers ever."
Yeah.
Like
the sound,
boots.
It's
7,
crazy.
11, 15.
Yeah.
Like that shit is frightening, bro.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna really like that, and I love the original 20 Days Later, so I'm expecting big things. What do I think I'm gonna rate it? I think a 4 is like very safe, so I'm not gonna go with a 4, and I'll say a 4.5.
Love it.
Being brave,
better than me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also not in the mood to be conservative, so I'm gonna go bolder with my prediction. So
Happy Gilmore too.
Gonna start out with might as well go Luca Guadagnino. Just makes sense after the hunt. And I'm going to predict a 5. It's just we're going to risk it. Challenger's obviously 5 for me. Queer's a 4.5.
This is why I can't use Letterboxd because I've gone on the 2025 and there's going to be so many I'm just missing.
Yeah, but love Julia Roberts. Obviously, I just talked about her and about Aaron Brockovich. But Andrew Garfield, Io Debris. This is going to be an incredible movie.
That's a good one.
Sneezing my life away right now.
All right, so.
There's an obvious one for you, Tyler. No.
I have my top 25 most anticipated list on TikTok. I'm just like rewinding. So obviously I can't do Paul Thomas Anderson or Terrence Malick. So
I'm going to go to your video right now so I can steal some.
Wow. Shouldn't have spoiled. I'm going to go Avatar Fire and Ash.
Wow.
Avatar Fire and Ash.
Wow.
Good pick.
And
it's mid franchise, but good pick.
You know what? We're going to be bold. Back-to-back 5 predictions.
Stop. Oh my god.
I like it. Wait, Tyler, when did you upload this?
Avatar: The Way of Water.
He changed it to a 5 like a week ago.
Yeah.
Sure. That's
December 23rd, Seth.
That's just
silly,
so
man.
goofy.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody call you Max. You're in a goofy movie.
Oh, T-Dog. Okay. Oh, that's tricky, actually. Is it me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it is you.
Can I take the new PTA film?
No, it already said they got delayed.
Dead.
Fuck you guys. I can't take Terrence Malick, yeah?
Correct.
Oh my god.
Fuck you guys, man. Well, I am taking this because I'm pretty sure this is confirmed at Cannes.
Fuck a Cannes film. Get a damn real release.
Yeah, bro.
Cannes film might come out in 2027.
No, this is I'm almost positive this is Slave 2025, guaranteed.
Because It's not gonna be fun when we come back next year and all of your Cannes films are
Bro,
DNFs.
Tyler saw
watch.
Magazine Dreams at Sundance 16 years ago.
Yeah, but that was different
That's
circumstances.
crazy. That's crazy. You have
That
seen
was different
movie.
circus.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm pretty sure we got news this coming out 2025.
Tyler is the only person in America that has seen Magazine Dreams.
Just drop the movie and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's
Freak
Julia
Hero
de
Friday.
Corneau's new film, Alpha.
Yeah, I think that should be coming out.
Yeah,
this year.
I think that's confirmed.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm gonna go down. I gave the first film a 4, second film a 5. I'll go 4.5. I think I'm gonna love it because yeah.
Nice.
4.5. All right. My one of the year is Mickey 17. My 2 is Superman. I'm gonna go my 4 though because I think there's likely a higher chance Cam takes my 4 than my 3. I'm gonna go Mission Impossible: The Final
Fuck
Reckoning.
Ooh.
Fuck
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that was my next pick. Actually,
And
that was not my next pick. It was my comeback around pick.
I am also gonna be bold here. I'm gonna go 5.
Wow.
Ooh.
What
I,
did you give Dead Reckoning, George?
4.
Okay, that is bold.
But I just rewatched Fallout, and I was on the
Fallout's
cusp
so
of
good, man.
5, man. And
Fallout's a
every time I see this Final Reckoning trailer in theaters, I'm like, dude.
yeah, it does.
And you might bump
Like-
it up just to the finality of it all. just
Yeah,
it's
like
fucked
this.
up, you know?
It's so like I don't know. I don't see a world in which like the finale of this, especially this franchise, Tom Cruise stunts, like it's gonna be huge, bro.
That really sucks. That was my next. I was gonna grab it.
You got to go for something below SU because I just realized we're all going in alphabetical order for our picks. So
Oh,
got to
Thank
make
you.
the mission 28 to
Um,
Alpha after the
Oh, how-
Avatar.
How did you notice that?
yeah, that is
Probably
kind of
autism. I don't know.
I'm going with someone to help me with the alphabet here. SI Sinners.
Oh, that's my 3. That's my 3.
That was that's my 3 as well. But my 2.5. I made a top 10 list on TikTok and then accidentally had 11 movies. So my 2.5 was Mickey 17 and my 2 was Mission Impossible. So my 3 or 4 is Sinners. I'm gonna go crazy here. He's never missed once.
Wow.
We'll have fun. I'm gonna go with a 5. We'll have
Nice.
fun.
Yeah, I
5.
like that.
I mean, every time I
want-
see
dude,
Michael B.
Sinners
Jordan like
looks-
oiled up biceps,
Dude,
shooting
yeah,
a Tommy
he
gun.
is
Yeah.
huge in this
He is a
movie, like
sexy man.
massive, like oh my
Like,
god,
probably the strongest someone's ever been. And then it's
Yeah.
we'll just keep
it's
the slop
actually
going.
I didn't know human beings could get that muscular.
I saw
Genuinely,
someone
I didn't
tweet
know.
this and
Crazy.
someone tweeted this and it probably is true. And it was like saying like it's so obvious that in Sinners, Ryan Coogler had this movie to be Michael
Yeah,
B.
for
Jordan and Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
But then he's just like, I screw it to Michael B.
It's like,
Jordan.
fuck it, to
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
who's gonna complain about 2 Michael B. Jordans though?
Not
You know?
me.
No one, bro.
Me.
No one.
Give me
Um,
3 or 4 Michael B. Jordans.
True.
Continuing the
then
Michael
Johnny
B.
Depp.
Jordan cinematic universe, I'm gonna go with the Fantastic Four First Steps.
I
Nice.
thought you might. The other
Yeah,
side.
I have to. It's the only MCU movie that comes out this year that I'm like truly very, 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 very excited for. I'll go. I'll go 4.5. I feel like I can't say a 4 if I'm like super anticipating it, and Superman doesn't have anything to go off of, but we're going with a little 4.5 and hopes and dreams. If it's not a 4.5, I'm calling it on this franchise.
I have my next movie. The movie is They Follow, the It Follows sequel. But
Is that out this year?
We don't. So the last we've heard of it was Neon saying this was a long time ago. We're hoping for a 2024 release, but it could end up being 2025. But nothing's been confirmed. So I'll skip that. Actually, I'm gonna go with The Monkey, Osgood Perkins' next film, which actually releases in like a month or so.
Yes.
You guys, obviously, I love Long Legs. Very, very close to a 5. I am gonna give The Monkey. I'm gonna give it a 4, just because I haven't seen enough yet. of like
Sure.
trailers. All right, so we're gonna go 4 on the monkey.
Have we had a trailer for that? We have, haven't we? Surely.
It was like a very like a teaser, like a
Teaser.
very like a true teaser. No, not like a Marvel
Yeah.
teaser that's like 2.5 minutes.
I'll go. This is definitely 2025. Park Chan-wook's new film. No other choices. That's a safe bet for me. Rating wise, I mean, judging off his last few, it's a 4.5. I'm gonna go with 4.
Do it 5, 5, 5.
I don't know. It's a black comedy as well, so I'm like, dark comedies can be a little bit like.
Yeah, but it's Park Chan Goat, bro.
But what if it's
True.
really
I'll go
fun?
4.5. I'll go 4.5.
Oh, you're switching it up from your other options. They're all.
Oh yeah, true. They're all 4.5.
Bad joke. Kill me. It's fine.
Yeah.
Cam, I love you, bro.
All right, I get back-to-backs here. So we've said it time and time again. I'm just that annoying guy that loves Ari Aster. So I'm gonna go Eddington.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I forgot
Killing
that
me.
movie.
Eddington. Come on, bro.
What
Bo's
do you mean?
Afraid
What are you
State.
talking
Joaquin,
about?
Emma Stone. West
Bo's
Nah,
Side.
Afraid State.
it's an Ari Aster Western. Joaquin
I'm
Phoenix.
just out on
Bo's Afraid
Ari
State.
Aster after Bo's Afraid.
Yeah, you all don't see the vision.
I
Um,
don't see it. I'm sorry.
I'll get to 4 on this one. I don't think it's going to be as high as the other 2. And then we'll run it back with next pick. I'll go the Phoenician Scheme.
What the hell is that?
Wes Anderson's new movie. We'll go
Is that this year? That was next
Is that
year.
this
Yeah,
year?
man.
Wow.
It's just Tyler's are just director slop. He's frothing at the mouth for different directors.
Yeah,
Luca.
exactly.
Ari Aster, Wes Anderson, James Cameron. It's just frothing.
Sorry to derail this draft, Cam. One of my friends just sent me a tweet that says, if Superman and Batman switched cities, who's having a harder time?
Batman.
Easily Batman.
I gotta
Batman.
assume Batman's not prepping for like world-ending villains. As
Like
much,
what
but
Superman's got to deal with a Joker, a literal dude.
It's
I
Batman.
don't know. Joker killed Lois Lane in Injustice. I know that.
Dude, he struggled to figure out what Rada Alada meant. Let's pump the brakes on this conversation.
Loki, there were a lot of rats with wings. Falcone, Batman, Penguin. I mean, like there was a lot of rats with wings.
There's a chunk.
Back to Seth.
I'll go Del Toro's Frankenstein. I think I know it's Netflix, but cast alone, you got like what Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth. There's a few other people I'm forgetting as well. I'm not gonna go crazy with this one because I'm not like always really high on Del Toro. But I think a 4 is very, very likely to happen. I'll go 4.
Go with a
Back to George.
Minecraft movie, George.
Go what?
A Minecraft movie.
No, dude.
You should.
Dude, there's a giant poster for that movie in the Lincoln Square AMC, and every time I walk past
You should rip it down.
it's like, why is this here? No, my next pick, I'm gonna go with Edgar Wright's next film, The Running Man,
Nice.
starring Glenn
Right.
Powell, Katie O'Brien, and also Coleman Domingo just joined the cast.
Yep.
Yeah, that is cool.
You also got Josh Brolin, Lee Pace. Damn, we got a cast, bro. We got a cast. Michael Cera. Maybe he'll win his Oscar.
Yeah, exactly.
Seth, what was that tweet, dude?
I don't know, man. I was just feeling a bit weird. I mean, I quote tweeted him, but like Barry Lyndon didn't win. I was like feeling a bit, loopy that night. There's a very obvious Cam pick for Cam.
Oh, shit.
Right now.
Did you say your rating, George? Sorry.
Oh, I didn't say my rating. I do love Edgar Wright. I really do like Edgar Wright. I still think of fuck, but I do love Glenn Powell. You know what? I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna go 4.5 on this one.
Nice.
He hasn't. Yeah. Listen, he hasn't made a movie in 3 years. Maybe he's been working on this one for a while. Glenn Powell is at like the height of his career right now.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it. Same with Coleman Domingo, just dropping bombs left and right.
it's fair.
Yeah, I'll go 4.5. I'll go 4.
Cam, there's a very obvious you pick that
I'd probably pick
you,
it then.
I don't want you to miss out on. So
I'll probably pick it then.
Go for
I'll pick it second though. I feel like another person at the height of their career is Mr. Timmy. I'm going to go with Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme.
Has a chance to get delayed, I feel like.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. But
he's the Christmas guy, though. So they got to
he's
keep
the
that.
Christmas
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I think
Damn, that was my next pick.
I like the Safdie brothers. Obviously, Benny Safdie alone is a little spooky. So I think
I think this one's
think it's
Josh.
Josh.
Oh, is this one Josh?
Benny
My
is
bad,
the
my-
smashing machine.
Okay,
Yeah.
yep. Thank you. Josh Safdie alone, a little spooky. I'll go with a 4. I don't know. We'll see if it's higher. If it's anything like Get Out, or not Get Out, Jesus, Uncut Gems, like it's supposed to be, it might be fantastic. I love Uncut Gems, but 5, this may be the one you're talking about, Seth. Wake Up Dead Man.
Nah, that's what I was gonna pick.
Wait. Oh, is that what
It's,
it's called?
the
Did it change
Knives Out.
title?
The Knives
That's
Out.
the Knives
movie?
Out 3. No, it's always been that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is what I was referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Glass Onion a lot. Obviously, I love Knives Out. We'll call it a 4.5. I think I gave Glass Onion a 4.5 as well. So yeah, I think it's got a pretty good chance. As long as it's a fun thriller mystery that like keeps me entertained, I'll probably give it a 4.5 anyway. So
I didn't like Glass Onion really at all, but still something about a new Knives Out movie has me so excited just because I
True.
love mystery so much. Like this is again back to I've made this comment a couple episodes now that about Seth saying about Terrifier. It's like even if I don't like all the Knives Out movies, keep giving them to me. Just keep cranking them out. Love them. Very
The
excited.
cast for this one goes crazy as well.
That's
Yeah.
dude. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I feel about the Smile movies right now. Like, just keep giving them to me. Give me a Smile movie every day.
people love Smile too.
Mhm.
I do. Oh, what do I go with next? I want to have some fun with it. This is definitely not like my next in line, but I'm going to go with Scott Derrickson's next film, The Gorge, starring Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. And I'm going to go with 3 stars on this one.
When does this come out?
I have
3 stars?
no
Because the Black
idea.
Phone 2 comes out this year, so I don't know if it's technically his next film. I don't know which one comes out first.
Oh, well, we
The
got a trailer.
Gorge is more recent. The Gorge is like March.
We got a
Okay.
trailer for The Gorge, so
Yeah.
I think that one comes
The
out.
Gorge is like
And
March,
some
I
bad
think.
posters.
Yeah,
But Miles Teller,
Is it-
Anya Taylor-Joy, how can you not be excited?
that's what I'm saying.
Sigourney Weaver too. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll go with Maggie Gyllenhaal's new film, The Bride, with
That was going to be my pick. Nice.
Jesse Buckley and Christian Bale. I really liked Maggie Gyllenhaal's debut, The Lost. Oh, that wasn't a debut. It was.
Not her debut, but I love that film too.
Oh, I haven't seen Homemade. That was a collaborative effort. Doesn't count. Okay, yeah, I want to go with that. I really liked The Lost Daughter a lot. Jesse Buckley, I think, is one of the best working today. Christian Bale, same. Penelope Cruz in there as well. Annette Bening. Peter Sarsgaard. Yeah, cool cast. Really cool. I'll go with that. I'll go. I'll say a 4. I'll say a 4 for that.
My hot take is I think I'm going to like The Bride more than Frankenstein.
I think
I-
I might as well, to be honest, because I think Guillermo del Toro, I'm not always like crazy high on, so I probably should have gone with that first.
All right. Wrapping up the draft for my final pick, I'll go Begonia.
What?
Begonia
that's- Who's
Who's
that?
that?
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yorgos is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same characters. Emma Stone, Jessica
Yeah.
Clemens. 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap a CEO of a major company, convinced she's an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. I'm guessing Emma Stone's the CEO, and Jesse Plemons and someone else kidnaps her. Sounds electric. That's a 4. Yorgos,
Cool.
he's got his same old people, but yeah, there's our drafts.
All right. Most anticipated movies. We'll come back to this in a year's time. Cam took Superman, thinks he's going to get a 4-star. Sinners, 5-star. The Fantastic Four, 4.5 stars. Marty Supreme, 4 stars. Wake Up Dead Man, which is a Knives Out 3, 4.5 stars. I took Mickey 17, 4.5. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, 5. The Monkey, 4. The Running Man, 4.5. And The Gorge, 3. Seth, 28 years later, 4.5. Alpha, 4.5. No Other Choices, 4.5. Del Toro's Frankenstein, 4. And Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, 4. Tyler took After the Hunt, 5. Avatar, Fire and Ash, 5. Eddington, 4. The Phoenician Scheme, 4. And Begonia, 4 stars. I'm going to predict at least 3 of these don't release this year.
I'll say 5. Don't release.
Yeah, I don't know which 3.
5 is crazy.
Yeah,
No,
5 is crazy.
How many was it last time? I think it was at least 3, wasn't it?
4, 3.
3
I don't
maybe.
have any more. It was for sure 2. I think maybe 3.
I reckon 5.
But either way,
I think.
so
just real quick, a couple other movies coming out this year, just to
There's so many.
mention them. But you got the old Jurassic World Dominion, or
No.
not Dominion, Rebirth. Sorry,
Rebirth.
Dominion was Ballerina, Tron, Ares, Thunderbolts, Captain America, obviously, Zootopia 2, Snow White, Wolfman, How to Train Your
Five
Dragon.
Nights at Freddy's 2. Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. I actually thought George might do. Saw 11, right?
The Michael Jackson, Antoine
Michael
Fuqua
Jackson biopic.
Yeah.
The Electric State from the Russo brothers, which looks awful. Nobody 2. Now You See Me, Tyler. That's my Your Knives Out universe where it's just keep giving me some Now You See Me's.
In the Lost Lands. Nice.
In the Lost
Is it
Lands. A
Insidious
lot of
now?
movies coming out this year, guys.
Daniel Day-Lewis makes his return for his son's film Anemone.
Living in an enemy.
Celine Song follows up Past Lives of the Materialists. You got Ben
I did
Safdie
not
also
know
with
she
the
had a new
Smashing
film
Machine.
releasing this year. That's interesting.
Let's see
Oh, that
what-
new Predator film releases this year with Al Pani.
No, isn't there supposed to be 2 Predator films? Wasn't there that secret second one that he's wasn't made and told no
Is
one?
that real?
I think 2 are coming out. Kelly Reichardt's new film, The Mastermind, starring Josh O'Connor, Lana Heim. Very excited for that one.
Hopefully, Paul Thomas Anderson. That very much hope.
No, they already confirmed that. That was news a week ago. They said push to 2026.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Seth had the Park Chan-wook. Gore Verbinski's returning back to the director's chair. And
Is
Good Luck,
he?
Have Fun, Don't Die. Spike Lee's remake of High and Low.
Remake,
Lynn Ramsey's Die My Love with Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson.
Man. Oh, I love Lynn Ramsey.
Got some good stuff coming out, and that's all I had on my top 25 list. But yeah, should be I think it'll be a great year for movies. Bold take.
Hopefully.
I think every year is good nowadays, you know?
If you see enough movies, it'll always be good.
I agree.
All right. So how are we doing this? Are we just predicting what's going to make the most? I think last year
I think we try as 5 movies. We try to get the most money,
most collective money throughout.
Yeah.
So
we did do this, didn't we?
We did in March, but we gave up on. I don't know. We'll look at it. Someone comment below who won that. Please, someone go back and look at who won that draft.
Find where it was even. Oh, F1 comes out this year, right? Isn't that the most expensive movie ever made or something?
Apple TV loves
what
money.
Joseph,
I think it's second most behind The Force Awakens.
300 million.
All right, I just copied and pasted this draft from the other one. So I think, to be fair, we should bring out the wheel for this.
I think we bring out the wheel because I think there's one that you can almost lock in for 2.
Yep, I'm getting our names on the wheel. We bring out the wheel here.
There's some good backups, though. There's a 2 and a 3 that are pretty obvious as well.
Oh.
The thing is, I think there's a clear one, but then by the time you get your second pick, so many other ones might be. So I think it will even out regardless.
But the one is so one-y, you know?
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe this
I'm
is
gonna
the time.
Wake Up Dead Man, the Netflix release. $0.
Spinning the wheel. First pick in the draft.
Give me first pick.
Wow,
Stop.
he willed it into the existence. Willed it into existence. Give him the confetti, give it the claps. Hey.
Good job, Tyler.
Second pick in the draft.
Stop.
Cam
Slow. Back. Cool.
Nice.
I'll take 2.
Cam.
I'll take 2.
With the second pick in the draft. Yay.
The
The third pick in the draft. I kind of want the back-to-backs low key.
Yeah, you can't.
This will be close. George gets it. I like
third is the worst place point in the draft. It
Yeah,
just
for
is.
sure.
Chill out. Fuck.
Sorry, dude.
Still on me. And then
Have a good
I
time.
want to toot my own horn, so we'll give myself a spin.
You
Yeah.
got it, man.
You deserve the confetti.
Respect it.
Yeah, and
Oh shit!
give it to me. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So I'm still last in this draft. So really, the point of me wanting to bring out the wheel was selfish. I was last in that last draft. Don't really want to be last here, but the wheel spoke. So Seth, the first pick.
I will go with I'll go with Tyler. Do you want to type it out for me, please?
Yeah.
Wait, I found the last year's. So we didn't
Oh,
do
really?
Yeah, we didn't do a box office draft. Like we did, but we did. There's like rules to it. We
I
didn't
know we
guess,
did. We're not doing rules this year.
Yeah, we didn't guess what we thought the box office would be. We drafted movies that we thought would overperform.
Uh-huh.
So
I
like,
remember because I did
Yeah.
someone did Terrifier 3. I was like a big one.
yeah,
So
Seth took Deadpool 3, Mufasa, The Strangers.
Deadpool did well. The
The
Strangers. did not.
Strangers, Garfield, and Paddington 3. So 2 of those didn't even release. I took Dune Part 2, Sonic 3, Joker, Maxine, and Gladiator 2. Tyler took Despicable Me 4, Smile 2, Terrifier 3, Kung Fu Panda, and Saw 11.
Terrifier 3 should have been picked way earlier.
Saw 11 didn't release right now.
Correct. No.
It might not even release this year at this point.
And then we drafted for Cam. Fuck me.
He's dead.
That was
Wake up, dead man.
Felt like I just got stabbed. We drafted for Cam, and so Cam took Argyle, Craven the Hunter, Inside Out 2.
Oh, yeah, that's
Hey,
a good
highest
one.
grossing of the year.
We gave him good shit. Godzilla and Kong and Bad Boys 4.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
Interesting.
So I don't know who wins this based on so we did
Someone can look it up for
drafting
us.
movies we think will overperform at the box office compared to its budget.
Yeah.
Sounds
This
like
year,
Tyler.
screw that. We're just trying to get
Yeah,
trying to
just
add
most
up our
money.
scores. At the end
Yeah.
of the year, we'll look at these, add up the 5 box offices of our picks, and see who won.
Are we not guessing the amount as well, Tyler?
No, just most
Oh, no?
money. You can take a guess. Like, what do you want?
I
What
just
do you
think it'd be fun,
Uh,
if we just like take a roundabout guess.
At least for Avatar, yeah, over or under 2 billion. What are we all thinking?
Over.
I mean, it's over.
I'm
It's
going
two.
under.
Two
Ah,
going
fuck
I'll
it.
go.
I
I'll
got
go.
you.
Wait, how much
Yeah.
did Way of Water make? It was like under 3 or around 3. I'll say 2.5. Tyler. I'll say 2.5.
Wow. I think they keep getting less and less, but not by much.
No, because the second one was higher than the first, wasn't it?
No.
Was it not?
Avatar's still the highest grossing of all time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Cam, what's your pick?
My pick is a franchise that refuses to make less than $1 billion. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
I mean, like people show out for them. I don't understand how Dominion made that much, but they did. Yeah, The Way of Water made 2.3. I mean, fucking Avatar's almost.
Oh
at
shit!
3.
Can I retract
Avatar's
my
almost
statement
at
there,
3.
Tyler?
It's crazy.
Nope.
Can I say 2 billion?
Nope. You already.
you locked
No.
The guesses mean nothing.
1.6.
1.6 billion. George, your next pick or your first pick?
Fuck, man. There aren't I genuinely think those are the only 2 big box office hitters.
No.
Unless I'm
I already
forgetting.
There's one huge.
Am
boy.
I?
No. Like
I-
huge.
Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for picking this. I'm gonna go the Minecraft movie.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's $1 billion easy.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
No
I
one
hate-
thinks about that, Josh. It's okay. No one.
When we're done with this draft, can we remove the box office predictions and post this as our
Most
most
anticipated.
anticipated movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
sure.
prediction on this?
I'll go 1.3.
Oh, that's big numbers. there. I like
1.3.
it.
All right, we're to me now for my back-to-backs. I'll start with Zootopia 2.
Yeah.
That's a
Which
good one.
is
I didn't think you'd have like that put in your bag.
no, I'm looking at I won't review my sources, but currently this is the betting favorite for most of the year, which is why I tweeted. I was like, "How is Avatar 2 not?" So I think maybe the betting says once January 1st, 2026 happens, they stop counting. So maybe that's why Avatar 2 is not the highest. But Zootopia 2, I'll guess 1.3 billion.
Did the first one make a bill? I think it did, didn't it?
I'd
don't
assume so if
think
it's
it
the
did,
number one
but
odds.
I
but-
don't think it did, but it's the same as Inside Out, where the first one was such a cultural impact, but didn't make the billion number. Where the sequel will surely make.
Oh, it did make $1 billion, just over.
Oh, did it? Damn.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think it'll surely make.
that's kind of crazy.
billion.
All right, then I will
Only
go...
2 movies last year made $1 billion, and we've already got 4 that we think will.
True. It's box office back. I'm gonna go Superman. I just think he's gambling. I'm gonna go right at the cool billion mark.
Oh, you're going billion.
I
Interesting.
think it'll overperform. I don't know if it'll
George.
make $1 billion, but I think it'll do well.
I'm gonna go Wicked for Good. I don't.
I was gonna pick that, then I looked at the box office. Now I'm even more pissed off on cinematic box office achievement because 680 million. That's
It's not a lot.
I thought it would have made way more.
But
Than
like a part 2, man.
That's still that's a lot of money.
it's a third of the high of Inside Out
I
2.
agree.
That's not winning the award.
I think it exceeds number 1, so I'll go. Let's go 950 million.
I
don't
can't
know.
believe Despicable Me 4 almost made $1 billion, man. Looking at the last year's box office, that's crazy.
No, you can believe it,
You
dude.
can.
Yeah, I can believe it, I guess.
All
MCU's back, maybe, for Fantastic Four.
MCU is not back.
I think it may, let's call it, Fantastic Four is a big IP in the MCU. I think it goes 1.1.
Oh, interesting. A lot of billions being thrown about here.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you believe our predictions are correct with these numbers, buy as much AMC stock, buy movie theater stock, because the movie theaters are gonna be cooking this year.
Yeah.
We didn't do. We got to do a bait. What's the bait of the episode today? Get people to comment something.
And I hope people are still listening. We're in like the
No, but
Okay, everyone comment your Avatar above or below 2.5 billion. What do you think down below?
W.
Seth,
or
Also,
if you don't think Avatar is going to make the most money, what do you think is? Because I don't see how it doesn't make the most.
What
money.
will be the biggest flop on this list? And if you don't comment about any of these things, I'm going to assume you hate us.
Yeah. I also didn't see one Australian Open prediction in last week's comment.
I saw one.
So.
I think
Did you?
someone had one.
I didn't see it. I got to go back, but let's re-comment that. All right.
A lot of Dune won't win the awards.
Yeah.
On Spotify too. So shout out. You can comment on Spotify. All right, Seth, back to backs.
I'm gonna take How to Train Your Dragon live action.
Yeah, live action is a smart move.
I think this will make. I'm gonna say like a clean 800 million plus. I think it'll do really, really well. Really well.
Dude, there are so many like what ifs right now that I'm thinking of.
And then I'll go for. See, there's some like really risky ones. Okay, so this isn't based on performance. This is just it is, but not based on compared to budget. It's just based on overall.
Just how much money purely.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Snow White. I'm gonna go with Snow White.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's just one of those films had a lot of press, a lot of it negative, but it still counts.
I was gonna say you're underestimating how many people really hate the lead actress. What's her name again?
This is Rachel Zegler.
Zegler.
Why do people hate Rachel Zegler?
Because people
I don't know. Wasn't there like some massive
people
thing?
hated her because she said that she wanted to change the original Snow White. Like,
she said something about Snow White. I forgot what it was.
The average person.
You don't say anything about Snow White and get away with it nowadays.
Yeah, don't.
That's fair.
I'll say that I think that'll make like I don't think it'd be crazy, but I think I'm gonna go like a 600 million. I think.
Yeah, now we're getting into 100 millions. Who can pick up most of those? Seth, I think you missed. Not to be too rude, I think you missed the biggest live action remake of the year. I think How to Train Your Dragon will make pennies compared to Lilo and Stitch this year.
Really?
This year?
I don't think Lilo and Stitch. Maybe
Legacy.
I don't have the confidence in Lilo and Stitch.
I think Lilo and Stitch will.
How to Train Your Dragon, it maxed out at 200 million. The animated.
It got 500 million. I just searched it.
You might be looking at America.
The first time Stranger Dragon got 500 million.
Let me look. Maybe I'm looking at America. Lifetime
494 worldwide.
I'm looking at. I'm on Box Office Mojo. Lifetime gross 217 million.
Yeah, that's in the United States and Canada on Google, and then 277 outside of US.
Thanks, Box Office Mojo. Why the hell would you just show me US?
Because they are
so whack.
Dumb.
So if you think about it, like if they made 500 million on the animated one, the interaction and stuff that the marketing's got, I think How to Train Your Dragon will make a lot, but I also think Lilo and Stitch will make a lot as well.
My prediction is we'll go 700 million.
Okay.
What is the Lilo and Stitch release date?
I struggled not to at least throw one Marvel movie on my board, so I'm gonna go Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four.
I've already picked it.
Oh, did you pick it already?
1.1 billion. Yeah.
Fuck, I did not see
Bro,
that. My
was it
bad.
not?
I still think any MCU movie is going to be a safe.
Yeah. All right. So
Especially
I
not
think
the other
one
end.
is going to be
One is
safer
more
than
than the
the
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even,
all right,
even still, I don't think it'll make like.
Correct.
I have no confidence in.
God, I wish some Sonyverse movies would come out.
I
Venom 4 would
honestly
make money.
just wouldn't pick either of them.
I
Maybe
know.
will.
I really don't have
I
confidence.
think you
in
have
any-
to. There's no way we can go.
You have to
this
by the
route
end of
without-
it because they'll make
Yeah.
a guaranteed like couple hundred, few hundred.
All right.
million.
I'll throw Captain America: Brave New World on my board.
How much
And
are you saying?
what did you say for Fantastic Four? 1.1. Damn.
I think
I'm gonna
it's-
say.
I mean,
I'm gonna say 450 million for Captain
Sorry,
America.
just loses
I
like.
mean, you gotta.
That would be like
you-
Marvel's
that'd be a
Fire and
huge
Fire.
that would be
Huge
Marvel
budget.
like shooting themselves.
But
in
the
face.
predictions don't
Yeah.
matter. Like you said, it just matters how much movie this make money this
Because it will make
Yeah.
a guaranteed few hundred million, like it will,
Yeah.
even though it'll lose money. It will make that.
I think Captain America will perform well, but I think we're underestimating racist people. And I think it'll perform poorly because people are just assholes.
I mean, Black Panther 1 and 2 made a lot of money though.
but it's not Captain America. I think people are mad about this movie.
I don't know. I've seen like
I
quite a lot of
agree.
like interaction.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If
I'm
you
gonna-
are mad about this movie, comment down below and also shoot yourself in the face.
I'm happy this movie got back to me. This is like hedging my own bet because I've been vocal on this movie saying I think it's going to be a flop in terms of not making as much people expect. People are expecting this movie to make like $1 billion. I don't think it will, but this is like a hedging my bets in case it does. The Michael Jackson biopic.
Oh, nice.
I think it was a few months ago where I was like, this movie is not going to make
I-
that much money.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
I
said
didn't
$1 billion.
think
I
about
don't
that.
think this makes $1 billion anymore.
I'll go
I find it-
750 million.
I think. Yeah.
I think it'll probably be less. Again, I think this movie's not going to do well, but I'm getting it on the board in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And then another one that's just a safe bet. How much will it make? Who knows? But Mission Impossible is going to make money. So
See, I was gonna take that, but like every
It'll-
Mission Impossible movie underperforms.
No, but I think the way they're
Underperforms of,
marketing
like,
this,
500
being around the
million.
last one, I think it'll make like at least 500. I reckon.
yeah, I'm
Like,
guessing
so-
650. I'm being over optimistic. But
Yeah.
George, now I really have no clue what my fifth pick will be, and by the time it gets back to me, so many more will even be taken. So
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there are safe places I think we could still go. Kind of want to take like a little couple of risks here and there, you know. Fuck, I don't know where to go. There's no way I'm going back to back Captain America Thunderbolts. I'm not doing that.
No, that's gonna make like 2p. the box office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thunderbolts I have no confidence in. Is Wake Up Dead Man going straight to Netflix?
That's,
I mean,
oh,
even
even if it's
doesn't,
not,
it
that's
doesn't
just
make
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
That's
still,
stupid
that's-
thing. Don't do that.
Yeah. all right,
Don't
my
do that.
bad. Pardon me. Oh fuck. All right. You know what? Let me just get my most anticipated movie on the board. I'll go Mickey 17. Maybe
Makes
Maybe
fine
maybe the return of Bong
set,
Joon-ho
Tyler.
after 5 years with Robert Pattinson will do something.
Tyler, you're on Seth.
yeah, I see that now.
Okay. I mean,
I
I
mean, to
don't
be fair,
understand.
George, like that's not a bad like.
I know,
Parasite made 262 million. I know, obviously,
yeah, Parasite made a chunk.
that's
Parasite
actually
made a
lot more
chunk
than
of money.
I assume, to be honest.
What's
Um,
your prediction here?
I'm gonna say it outgrosses Parasite just
Oh.
because of the Robert Pattinson pull. So I'm
Remember
gonna
how
go-
weird it is, though, George. Remember how weird.
yeah,
it
I
is.
know, but still, it's like it's Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, Naomi. No, she's not in this movie. Who am I thinking
Steve Yeun.
Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo. First movie since he won an Oscar for Best Picture and Director. I'm gonna go 375 million.
Ooh.
I think it could do some damage.
Cameron.
yeah, I think we're being goofy and overthinking it. I'm going to take Thunderbolts.
I don't
Safe
know,
play,
man.
safe play.
It was a safe play, but I think that might be one of the lowest grossing.
Yeah, I don't
MCU
know.
ones ever, to be honest.
Like Marvel's Suicide Squad. Like I just
The
don't. see
lowest
it.
grossing movie in the MCU has made 200 million. I'll take 200 million on my board if it.
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
think-
What was that movie?
The Marvels. It's a
Oh
recent
yeah.
one.
I think it
Even
might
if
make
we
around
get to the 5th lowest, we're at 400 million, which is more than the movie you just took. So I'm gonna go with 650 million.
Whoa.
Damn.
Dude,
Love
it's
it.
it's
Love the
fucking
optimism.
Marvel. I think we're overthinking it. That would be like the 10th lowest growth. That would be just at Thor: The Dark World.
My thing is, like, we have to see the Marvel fall off eventually. I really
we
do.
have seen. We've started seeing it. Like
No. I mean in like box office, not quality.
Quantumania made 500 million.
Yeah.
That's good.
But Quantumania was
this,
marketed around. Quantumania was marketed around how much it has to do with the future of the MCU. Like Thunderbolts, I've seen like very little from.
You three aren't going to go see this just to screw me, but I think
I don't think our combined $50 is going to screw the box office.
No, I think we're overthinking the.
How about this? How about everyone
Marvel
listening?
hate.
Comment below. Are you going to see Thunderbolts in theaters or no?
And also, if say what's his name wins best supporting actor, Sebastian Stan, just throw that on there.
I think we're missing a big one here because
what do we miss?
I think I'm gonna go Tron Ares.
No.
The 2000 George, hear me out. 2010 film made 500 million. Right?
Yeah, you forget that film didn't have Jared Leto.
Doesn't matter. And if you like go on the social interactions of like when the first like just pictures and posters came out, they were crazy high. I think this is like a guaranteed 400 million plus.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for this movie. I just think you're underselling how much people do not fuck with Jared Leto.
But the Tron, like it's a huge film.
I want this movie to succeed.
I really think
replace Jared Leto. I'll star in the movie instead of Jared Leto.
Probably will. I think it'll make a lot. I really, really do. I really do.
Seth, your final pick.
What do I want to safe bet? Okay, let's see. Safe bet. What's been chosen? Did someone take Wiki? Yeah, okay. Actually, a safe bet is probably F1. We're thinking logically. I think that'll probably make. I mean, it's an F1 film, like 300 to 400. Honestly, 400 million, to be honest.
I would very much agree.
I'm looking at a list. That's a great pick. I'm looking at a list. Someone has the Minecraft movie as a wild card, and they think it'll make 350 million. That's nuts.
Have they heard of Minecraft before?
Dude, that movie's making bank.
Yeah. There's like 4 or 5 picks I would love to still have on my board. So I'm curious to see if Cam or George select any of them. But
I just saw another one.
I have my next pick.
This is the first pick I don't feel confident about, but it's a franchise movie with a leading star in Ballerina.
No, that was my next pick, you fuck.
Yeah, Ana de Armas brings in money. We'll go with 300 million.
I think that movie makes bank. Dude, John Wick 4 makes
Do you think it makes bank?
I think that movie makes bank. It's a John Wick movie with Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
I
know, but it's not got John Wick.
Seth. It doesn't matter. This world has a lot of horny people.
But it also has a lot of misogynistic people. I think John Wick 4 made 400 million.
Yeah. And John Wick 3 made like 350. That's a consistent increase.
But with John Wick, with Keanu Reeves at the helm.
And this one has Ana de Armas, man.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Certified baddie.
I agree.
You know how many Ana de Armas James Bond edits I see on my timeline every day?
I see a
like
lot.
600.
George, your final pick.
I'm gonna go with a real loose cannon. This could make $1 and I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it'd also make a lot of money and I would be surprised. And that's the new Alex Garland film Warfare.
Interesting.
Civil
War. Did Civil War?
Thing's
that's the thing. I could see the movie making $1 and I'll be fine with that. But I don't know. I am confident a lot of Americans will show out to this movie. A ton.
Fair.
So I'm gonna play it safe though. I'm gonna say let's say 194.5 million.
Okay.
That's very
I like that
specific.
guess.
All right. So there's a lot of like horror movies coming out this year that I think are clear to make money.
There's one that will guarantee maybe
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is one of them.
That's what I was
Megan
thinking.
2 is another one of them. Insidious 6, Conjuring 4. These are all going to make money 20 years later. But I think I want to, and you got a Pixar film, Elio. Even if it flops for Pixar standards,
It's
still probably
still
gonna
gonna
money.
Yeah, that's a good one actually.
But
Good one.
I'm going to take a little bit of a risk and kind of swing for the fences on the final pick to hopefully push me
Do
over.
it.
A movie that none of us talked about yet, which I need to verify. And this is also at risk of being delayed. So that's another gamble.
Is it Saw?
Just
11?
because it's coming out right before Christmas. The SpongeBob movie.
Nice.
The SpongeBob movie. I think the
Well,
SpongeBob
yeah.
movie.
I like that.
Christmas release, December 19th. Think the kids might be going up to the SpongeBob movie while the real cinephiles are watching Timothy Chalamet play ping pong.
It isn't
That
that got leaked and it meant to be like awful. So I don't know. Like
I don't
really-
think kids see the
It's
leaks.
Sponge.
I'm gonna go 500 million. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like on all these prediction articles I'm seeing for most box office, no one's even mentioned that one. So I'm like, I'm probably screwing myself, but
Yeah.
swinging for
I
the
think-
fence a little bit.
I think
Got the
Five
last
Nights at Freddy's. Like Five Nights at Freddy's 1 made 300 million or around about. I think that's
Yeah, and that was a
guaranteed.
simultaneous Peacock release too, which I don't know if they're doing this time. So if they don't do it this time, they'll
Oh
make
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's a good point actually.
My
If they're not
nephews are
doing it
super
right-
excited for it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But yeah, let us
Alrighty.
know who's going to make the most money out of these five, and
I did add
comment
them
down
up.
below who we missed.
Yeah, we got Seth, Avatar, Fire and Ash, How to Train Your Dragon, Snow White, Tron Ares, and F1. Cam took Jurassic World, Rebirth, Fantastic Four, Lilo and Stitch, Thunderbolts, and Ballerina. George, myself, took the Minecraft movie, Wicked for Good, Captain America, Mickey 17, and Warfare. And Tyler took Zootopia 2, Superman, Michael, Mission Impossible, and the SpongeBob movie. Let us know if we missed any in the comments, if you think that we missed a movie that might explode at the box office. But that'll wrap up like our 2020. Yeah, go Cam.
Time out. I did add them up. So
Oh.
our
Predictions.
box office predictions. Seth believes his gang is going to make 4.7 billion.
That's a
I
lot of
am at-
dollars.
I believe 4.35 billion. George believes 3.27 billion, and Tyler believes 4.2 billion. And the total box office of 2024 was 8 billion, or a little more than 8 billion.
That is not even remotely happening.
So our 16 billion is a long shot here.
That is
But
so
hey,
funny.
movies are back, baby. Movies are
Yeah,
back.
movies are back according to the ReelTok Podcast.
This year, definitely. I mean, you have 3 MCU movies, you have new DC movie,
Yeah.
you have
Avatar,
Jurassic
like, it's-
World. Definitely, like, will be a bigger box office than 2024.
Yeah.
But yeah, to double it would be something special. So we'll
All
see
right.
where we're at.
You guys tell me. So we were gonna do ReelTok collection now, but our ReelTok Awards Best Picture winner is an honorary member of the collection. So do we want to wait until after the award show to do the collection?
I'm good
Yeah,
with
we
whatever.
could wait because we'll add in whoever wins best picture.
Yeah,
Alongside
I
the
figure. Yeah, we could even
five. We'll add because one each plus me for winning the draft
Yeah.
last year.
So we'll wait until after the award show to figure out who our best picture winner is, because that's going to be the automatic play. So let's ride some news. We got some interesting news. Not this. I mean, I know I said we weren't going to talk about SAG, but I do want to talk about the DGAs because I thought those were pretty interesting. So their lineup this year was Sean Baker for Anora, Edward Berger for Conclave, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. So
What
Not much-
award show is this? Sorry.
the Directors Guild of America.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think this is like really surprising. I think the first four, Sean, Edward, Brady, and Jacques, I think they're locked for Best Director nomination at the Oscars. James Mangold is the interesting one. Everyone was confident it would be Denis in that fifth slot. Unfortunately, sad to admit this, I think this is it for Denis. I think without the DGA, there's no way he gets into the Oscars. I also don't think James Mangold gets into the Oscars, so I'd be very curious to see who is going to come out as that 5th nomination slot. I'm trying. Where the fuck did this go? What the fuck? Sorry, I just had something open. Damn, where did it go? No. Yeah, so Claire Forgo for The Substance and Payal Kapadia for All We Imagine as Lights were the other 2 nominees for Best Director at the Golden Globes. I said Claire, Carolee. I think she, for The Substance, especially if Demi kind of rose in the Best Actress win or Best Actress odds makers, would make the most sense. But I don't know. James Mangold was such an interesting pick for the DGAs. I did not see that coming. Maybe they know something we don't. But yeah, I just want.
I mean, he's a big industry guy, so that kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. He's a big, just do what you're told in Hollywood. Make a movie, make our biopic, make our new Indiana Jones. When they need a guy, James Mangold picks up the phone.
Has James Mangold made a Star Wars film? Or have I made that up? He's making a Star Wars film.
One. Yeah.
He's making, yeah. I believe it's animated as well.
I think Dune's is going to probably be an all-time like franchise snub from Oscars, because I feel like what they thought they were going to do is they're going to do the Lord of the Rings method, where they don't give any awards, and the final one comes out, the third one, they're like, all right, now we shower you with all the awards for the incredible trilogy. But Dune Messiah is so freaky and funky that it might not be like that. But I think voters who are not Dune heads are probably like, yeah, we'll wait for his third final one, then we'll give them all the awards, and Dune Messiah will come out and they'll be like, this is interesting.
Was he nominated for the first one? Didn't he?
No, not at the Oscars or DGA.
Did that win technical awards?
It won like 10 awards. Yeah, it won.
It also came out in it was one of the COVID years, so not a ton of competition.
21.
Well, yeah, moving on. I wanted to mention that. Shrek 5 and Ice Age 6 will both now release in December 2026. Do not worry, though. Minions 3 has been moved up to July 2026.
I wish Minions could have gotten drafted in that one, because
dude, that Minions 3 is making $850 million easy.
I think it's $1 billion. I don't think any of them have not made $1 billion.
That's insane.
No, there's a lot of 900 millions, because it was one of the 3 strikes you're out.
Only 900 million,
wow. Bro. You can give me 900 million. I'll be chilling. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is reportedly going to have a budget of $250 million, which
not his highest production.
Well, everyone, the Dark Knight Rises is estimated between 250 and 300. There's no confirmed budget, so it kind of puts it in like that. Regardless, it's Nolan's 1 or 2 biggest budget film, which is awesome. Give that man all the money in the world to do whatever the fuck he wants. Jude Law has been cast as Vladimir Putin in Oliver Assayas's new film, The Wizard of the Kremlin. This is a French novel which was published not too long ago, only 2 years ago in 2022. It is a political fiction novel by Giuliani De Empoli that explores the inner workings of Vladimir Putin's regime through the perspective of a character heavily inspired by Vladislav Surkov, who was Putin's former advisor and key ideologist, known as the Wizard of Kremlin, a master manipulator of political narratives and propaganda. Sounds very cool. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is going to cause some sort of uproar when this movie comes out. Some sort of
be like The Interview.
Yeah, like some Russian threats when Jude Law's rendition of Vladimir Putin is going to inevitably be very like an attack, I guess. I don't know. That's like, I don't see this movie kind of going any other way, but I don't know. We'll see. Fade Alvarez says they improved the CGI on Ian Holm for Alien Romulus for its home release. I wish they didn't say this.
It still looks so bad in the side by side.
It's not even.
It still looks really bad. And what he's basically saying is, we didn't care to like properly bring him back to life. I don't know. He basically said we just ran out of time in post-production to get it right. I wasn't 100% happy with some of the shots in the theatrical release.
So don't put it in then.
Like people were obviously already in uproar with Ian Holmes. I don't even know how to
digital necromancer.
Yeah, his likeliness or his whatever showing up. Saying this just makes it worse. This is like, oh, we're gonna bring him in, but we're not gonna care enough to bring him back properly. So yeah, that was just interesting news. It's just like it's like a weird thing for a filmmaker to say. Like, don't say that. Cillian Murphy will not appear in 28 Years Later. I thought he was confirmed. Like I for some reason like very clearly remember you.
So I think he was confirmed as a producer, and then there's like, there's a bunch of those pages on Twitter when we originally got the news that like Jodie Comer was casting it.
Yeah,
I think some of those pages also reported Cillian Murphy, just like because he was a producer on it, I think, or something like that. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. They're not ruling out his appearance in, because it's a trilogy, isn't it? In any of the three.
Yeah.
And I think we got the news, didn't we, that Danny Boyle will be returning for the third film to direct. So maybe he comes back in that one just as like a little,
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It doesn't really, to be honest, it doesn't really, like, I love Cillian Murphy and I would like him to be in it, but it's not a huge negative to me in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's always a plus, but still, I'm still a Danny Boyle fan. I'm still an Alex Garland fan, so I will be sat day one. And we did just talk about that trailer, and we do love that trailer. I mentioned this a little earlier. Coleman Domingo has been cast in Edgar Wright's The Running Man alongside Glenn Powell.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just awesome. He's obviously he was an Oscar nominee last year. He's going to be an Oscar nominee this year. So put him in everything. He's awesome. I also mentioned this earlier. Critics' Choice Awards and the Oscar noms have been postponed due to LA wildfires. I don't know the dates. I don't know if they've been announced, the new dates. I haven't seen anything, but they have been postponed. I don't know if this means the actual Oscars ceremony will be postponed. Right now, it's just the nomination ceremony.
Well, here's an interesting fact, because they were doing this with George. You've been to LA multiple times, right?
Once.
Oh, okay. You know the is it the Intuit Dome? Is that where the Clippers play? I think.
Yep.
Tyler.
Yep.
Yeah. So they were doing there's a UFC event there that's happening this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of all the talk. It was like, how are they going to be able to do it? And obviously LA is like massive, but they've still somehow, managed to remain on it, even though it's kind of in its precipice remote. So yeah, I don't know, because they obviously delayed the Oscar nominations. When's the Oscar ceremony? Is it March?
Like first or second week of March.
First week of March.
Okay. No, because
they got time. I don't really think the voters need, I think one last week of voting for the voters isn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then last bit of news. So Matt Reeves says the possibility of Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCU really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. I really don't like this man. I really, really, I am begging anyone listening to this pod. I just don't do it.
Did he join the DCU?
Please don't. Just leave it separate, man. Leave Matt Reeves' DCU separate. It's very clear that they don't want two Batmans running at the same time, which is understandable, especially if you're looking at it from James Gunn's point of view, when, he, as much as he wants to keep his artistic integrity, he needs to keep money in mind. And if The Brave and the Bold comes out simultaneously with the Batman Part 2, Brave and the Bold is making $0. All of that money is going to go to Batman Part 2 because that's just the wildly bigger draw, especially after the insane success of the first movie.
But you are forgetting like a massive thing about this, though, that if they join, Robert Pattinson will one day he'll have to meet face to face with Clayface. Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah, probably not wrong.
There you go. So
I don't see how they can properly do this. Like the vibes of the Batman are so wildly different than the aesthetic of the Superman trailer. Like, how do you seamlessly mesh those two? I don't know. Just don't do this. Please don't do this. Please, I'm begging you. I'm going to DM Matt Reeves after this and beg him not to do this. Or DM James Gunn, should I say. But this would ruin me. This would absolutely ruin me. Because also I'm thinking from like Robert Pattinson's point of view, no way does he want this. No way does he want to be in like this massive like he already did Twilight. He's already done the franchises. Like, he just wants to do his own Batman trilogy with Matt Reeves. I don't know. But yeah. And then two big trailers. A Working Man, David Ayer's next film starring Jason Statham. kind of just Jason Statham doing his thing, same thing he does in every movie. That
Yeah.
when you've seen one Jason Statham movie, you've seen them all. But everyone should watch Death Race because Death Race fucked hard. And then we got a first trailer to Paul W.S. Anderson's film In the Lost Lands, which we spoke about a little bit earlier. I don't love Paul W.S. Anderson, but like I said earlier, I like Death Race. I like Resident Evil. I like Event Horizon. I wouldn't say I love any of these movies, but I like his style. I like his aesthetic. And I mentioned this earlier also. I'll be watching Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, maybe this week, maybe next week. So I'll check off a couple more Paul W.S. Anderson films, and we'll kind of see where we go from there.
I like Batista too. Go Batista.
Yeah, like Batista, especially after the last Showgirls. I'm just excited to see what he has next. But all right, that's it. That'll wrap up Real Talk episode 123. A nice 2 hour and 45-minute behemoth yap session. As always, shout out to our executive producer, Mr. Stefan Johnson. For everybody, we will be dropping a real quick draft on Thursday, which we will be drafting movie characters with all of our names. So that'll be interesting. And then on Friday, for patrons and patrons only, we will be dropping a review of Back to the Future. So if you want to hear our extended thoughts on Back to the Future, go check out our Patreon, links in bios below. Do not forget to vote for the ReelTok Podcast. Like Tyler said earlier, this episode drops on Monday. Last day to vote for the ReelTok Podcast 3rd annual award show is Friday, the 17th. So get your votes in, and then we'll have some fun with our ReelTok Awards next week. But we will see everyone for Real Quick on Thursday, patrons on Friday, and everyone else for the highly anticipated 3rd annual ReelTok Awards next week. Peace.
Beautifully said, George.